Welcome to Deep Thought Shallow Plots. My name's Erika, and I like to watch horror movies.
My name is Katy, and I like to overanalyze things.
Katy, I think we just need to cut the shit, because everybody knows why we're here today.
Nope. We're just going to tell the same joke over and over.
Over and over, yeah. We're here to wrap up our discussion of Jordan Peele's Nope, which we have so much to say that it's 2 episodes.
It's 2 episodes.
So, I mean, I think we don't even need to say it, but I will anyway. If you haven't listened to part 1, you should.
Yeah, it'd
go
be weird
do that
not
first, probably.
Probably.
I mean, if you're just like, you know, in your chaos era,
just wilding out.
Part 2 first, like, I think you're in for a wild ride.
I don't own you.
Yeah. So I guess for the, 1 or 2 people who are going to listen to this one first.
Yeah.
Whatever. Previously on Deep Thought Shallow Plots.
We just sort of went through the first half-ish, a little over. Yeah, half-ish.
About half of the movie, half the plot.
Of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah. And touched on a little bit more on, like, the characters of, like, the Haywoods, OJ and M, and a little bit their father and that relationship. We talked a bit about their friend Angel. And we started talking about Ricky Jupe Park.
Ricky Jupe.
Ricky Jupe Park.
And obviously there's, like, a ton happening in this movie. You talked about, like, why you like it so much is, like, literally every scene is relevant.
It's so tight
storytelling, and also, what we enjoy about Jordan Peele's movies
sort of
at
style.
large, is the biting social commentary, right?
Yeah.
And in this particular movie, what's the social commentary?
It's spectacle. It's very, like, Hollywood and, like, entertainment industry focused, but also just sort of, like, all of our urges to, like, watch things, especially, like, tragedies, and to, like, turn tragedy into entertainment.
Yeah. Absolutely. And how the system of Hollywood, I think we said it multiple times last episode, chews people up and spits them out.
Yeah.
Right.
The consumption of media meets literal consumption by an alien beast.
Yeah. And I think Jordan Peele, he's not, like, offering any, like, answers. He's just saying, like, we really love spectacle, and we also love to, like, indict people for enjoying a spectacle.
Yeah.
So super quick, part of something that we mentioned last time, and I just want to remind us this time because it's still relevant, is the difference between terror and horror. And so super quick, shout out to a YouTube account, Thomas Flight, has a couple of really cool kind of video essays on Nope. That I used heavily for this part. So shout out Thomas Flight. In one of his videos, talks about the difference between horror and terror, right? And he uses the example of the short story, The Monkey's Paw, which is relevant because Monkey's Paw is the name of Jordan Peele's production company. Right? So it's
with
relevant.
That really fun animation of a floating monkey paw stirring tea.
Right?
With a little spoon. I love it.
Just super quick, Katy is our resident.
I said we weren't going to have a literary corner, but secret mini literary corner up in here.
As our resident literary expert.
Yeah.
Can you just give us... I mean, The Monkey's Paw is a pretty short story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can read it in, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, give it to us in, like,
less
2.
than that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, to start off, it was written by W.W. Jacobs. He's an English author. This one was published in, like, 1902.
Oh, I was wondering how old it was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was originally published in, like, Harper's Bazaar and then, like, as part of a short story collection.
1902 is just old enough to, like, still be super racist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some interesting references to the Middle East.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And India.
Yeah.
Also around the time that I believe the word nope was being developed.
No freaking way. Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Oh my
Did we discuss that last time?
Yeah. Yeah. Listen
Back in our cowboy era.
Listen to part 1 for the etymology of the word nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I also thought it was interesting. I didn't know this because Jacobs is most known for The Monkey's Paw. That's really the only one that I recognized looking at his bibliography. Mm-hmm. But at the time, he was actually kind of more known for his, like, humorous works, often about, like, seafaring or, like, living on the wharf or whatever. And I don't know. I just thought that was interesting that he did kind of a similar thing to Jordan Peele of, like, being kind of known for this comedic stuff and then, like, I'm just going to throw down, like, an ultimate horror, just delight.
Yeah.
Just gonna break the canon for a moment with this. Like, what? I don't know. I just think that's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then become well known for that.
Yeah. While being this like also just like influential comedian. Like what? Oh, we contain multitudes in our worlds.
Yep.
But yes, The Monkey's Paw is a short horror story. Focusing on this family, the Whites. It's like two.
Oh my God, they're literally called the Whites.
They're called the Whites.
Okay.
It's supposed to signify their like innocence,
their purity,
almost their naivete.
Their naivete.
Even.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like an older man, an older woman, and their one remaining child, their adult son, and they get a visit from this sergeant major who they know, who just returned from India.
Okay, yeah.
This is where the things get interesting in terms of the racism.
Still very much like during the Raj.
Yeah. And so the sergeant major brings back with him this dried monkey's paw that supposedly has had a spell put on it by an old fakir. So a fakir is an Islamic word for like a Sufi ascetic, but it also could have been used at the time to mean like a sort of like, because they didn't know the difference between Muslims and Hindus. No. It also meant like a Hindu ascetic who practices magic. So I think maybe it's being used more in that sense of like some sort of magical Hindu.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Mrs. White even at one point is like, it's just like it's out of Arabian Nights.
Oh, okay.
So like that was a definite influence.
Anyway.
Okay. So the deal with this monkey paw is that it allows 3 separate men to make 3 wishes, which I think we have talked about the significance of the number 3 before.
It's a big one.
Various,
yeah.
So this short story is also split into 3 parts. It's like number 3 all over
Which
the
is
place.
interesting. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like, does the monkey only have 3 fingers?
Oh, it's not mentioned.
I'm literally basing this off of the Simpsons Halloween
I also
episode.
think there's a thing about like,
where they do the a riff on the monkey's paw.
I feel like there's a thing about like the monkey's paw like curling or like putting down a finger or something. That's not in the short story.
Okay.
The closest that when he makes Mr. White, we'll get to it, makes his first wish, he feels like it moves like a snake. But we don't have anything about like fingers or anything like that. It's just like a dried, petrified monkey's paw.
That's 1,000% from The Simpsons then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it could also be from other things too, because I've heard it. But, I mean, there's been a million adaptations of it, too, like stage, screen. It was, like, a really early movie. Like, yeah.
But, again, we're talking about me here, so my reference is The Simpsons.
Yeah. I do think it is interesting, actually, because we're talking about Hollywood. Jacobs was around to be there for, like, the first adaptation of a movie version of The Monkey's Paw in, like, early Hollywood. So that's just a little aside. But anyway, so we don't know who the first guy was to make wishes. All we know is that his last wish was for death. And then the sergeant major also doesn't really say what his wishes were. He was like, he was just sort of like...
The sergeant major already made wishes as well?
Yeah, he made all 3. He apparently, it seems like he sort of wrote about, them to Mr. White and was like, hey, I got a cool monkey's paw or something. Because he seemed like excited before and now he's like, oh, actually, pretend I never mentioned it. It's horrible. He like sounds really scared of it. And he actually like, because they're talking about it, takes it out and tries to throw it into the fire to like burn it.
Let me guess. It won't burn.
Well, it doesn't get a chance to because Mr. White's like, why would you do that? And like pulls it out. Yeah. So then it's the Whites. And it's interesting because Mr. White is like, well, I'm not even sure what I'd wish for. I kind of have everything I need, got my family, got my health. We live okay, And so they actually wish originally, it's a very modest wish for 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, even in the early 1900s.
My interneting says that it's equivalent to about 30,000 pounds or like $40,000 today. So it's not nothing.
It's like a year's salary.
But it's not like, it's not outrageous. It's nothing.
No.
Yeah. And of course, the money doesn't appear. They're like expecting it to, and it doesn't.
They just expect it to appear out of thin air.
Yeah, kind of. Well, they're like, I don't know, and it doesn't. So they're like, okay, whatever, it's a hoax. Until the next day, their son goes off to work at like a factory or something, and some guy shows up and is like, your son died. He got caught in the machinery
in a work accident.
Yeah, and in compensation, here's 200 pounds.
Yeah.
So that sucked.
It's like a classic. Be careful what you wish for. Like, do you think this is like? It's probably not because there's probably old stories that are even older. But like, is this one of the original stories that has the like "be careful what you wish for" theme?
I don't know because it's also coming after, since the Arabian Nights are a clear influence. It's coming after Aladdin.
That's true.
And the genie wishes, which also has a bit of a "be careful what you wish for"
a twist to it. Yeah, that it's not exactly as it seems.
And so then for his second wish, he wants to like have nothing to do with the monkey's paw. especially since he's like, it could just be a coincidence and the monkey's paw didn't even do it.
Right.
But his wife is like, no, wait, duh. If it gave us money, it could also get us our son back.
Yeah.
Let's wish for our son to be alive again. And Mr. White is like really hesitant, but he does it. And like nothing happens. And then they start hear banging on the front door. And Mrs. White is like
at night, right?
Yeah. Mrs. White is like, oh yeah, of course, because he would have had to walk all the way from the cemetery. It was going to take him a while.
Yeah.
And Mr. White is like, oh shit, he walked all the way from the cemetery. He was fucking mangled. He's talking about how like he could only identify the body by the clothes it was wearing.
Yes.
Like their son is going to be some sort of horrible zombie monster.
Something. Yeah, and also seeing the like twist that happened with the first
Yeah,
wish.
he's like,
it's like, do you like,
is this
Mr.
really
and
what
Mrs.
you want?
White, do you really think you're just going to
get your son back?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's going to be some sort of monster.
Yeah.
So like as his wife goes down to open the door, he makes one final wish. And then they open the door and the street is just deserted.
Right.
There's nothing left. And that's like the end of it. But I think the part that really stood out to me in terms of like why maybe this appeals to Jordan Peele or like at least its relevance to Nope specifically is that the fakir who put a spell on this monkey paw, he specifically wanted to show that fate ruled people's lives and that those who interfered with it did so to their sorrow. And I just thought that was interesting in terms of like the bad miracle thing.
Yeah.
Of things being sort of like, what is chance?
Yeah.
What is fate? When are you getting lucky? When are you making your own fate?
Yeah.
I don't know. Those sort of same themes of like, yeah, is this actually what you want?
Right.
Like, do they actually want to get rich and famous off of this alien when the alternative would be having their dad still alive?
Right, yeah.
It's like a very similar thing.
Yeah. So, perfect. And so you just said the man, Mr. White, makes another wish, and then when they open the door, the street
There's nothing.
is deserted. So, it's my understanding that, like, well, he wishes that whatever is on the other side of that door will just go away.
I mean, that's what's implied. We
yeah.
don't really like hear his final wish.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You
he's
would
sort of imagining
imagine.
it, and he's being like, that needs to go away. And then he grabs the monkey's paw.
So, perfect. That right there is the difference between terror and horror. So, the fact that they've wished for the son to come back, and then they hear this banging on the door, and they're not seeing anything, but they can hear it, and they're having the conversation. Mrs. White is like, oh, well, we came all the way, and then Mr. White is like,
oh, shit.
The fact that, and you think about, like, he died in a horrible workplace accident. His body
couldn't even recognize his body.
Yeah, it was beyond recognition. So just knowing those things, our brain fills it in for us. That's terror. So I got this from an essay about the monkey's paw by Matthew Morgan. And Matthew Morgan just kind of defines terror in this instance as like the gut deep dread of awful possibilities.
Yeah.
Right? That like I can imagine a million awful things that could be behind that door. Right? That's terror. Whereas horror is like if they heard the banging and they opened the door
and there was a zombie monster.
We got to see what was on the other side. That's horror, right?
I also think another cool thing about it,
Yeah.
that's maybe not as relevant, is just the idea that the monkey's paw could still just be a coincidence. Like it could have actually done nothing. That could have just been wind banging. It's a because that's a sound that could mean a lot of different things. Banging on the door. They don't actually know that it's their zombie son come back. It could just be a coincidence.
Could be a coincidence.
Like it just could be a bad miracle that in this moment when they're feeling really tense
And
suddenly
grieving,
the wind starts knocking at the door or something.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for saying that. Because we're about to get into Sound Corner, and there's a lot of the sounds in Nope like trick your ears, kind of the way like you hear a banging and your brain might fill in that it's a knock on the door, but like actually a lot of things could be making that sound, right?
Like every time you hear a old house creak and you're like, monster!
Yeah, and it's just an old house.
Yeah.
Things make sound.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, because this is when I was like looking into, the sound design and learning more about the sound and the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And the music used in this movie, I was thinking about that, and it kind of came back into my awareness that like we are always being bombarded by sounds, and like our brains just tune
Yeah.
out the sounds that are not important.
Right now, people listening might be hearing fans in the background, but we're tuning those out. It's hot. We just need
Yeah,
it.
like we're recording. It's literally the middle of July.
Yeah.
It is hot alien summer.
And it is hot.
And it's hot. So, and so like I can watch TV with the fans on, and my brain will eventually drown out the sound of the fans because what's important
Yeah.
is what I'm watching on TV or listening to music or whatever. So, I want to talk about how the sound used in this movie effectively creates sonic horror and terror. And again, I want to remind us about the definition of spectacle, because it's a super important word, and we know that it's a mainly like visual display. But I, would say that visual displays are not nearly impactful when there's no sound to go with it. Like sound
Yeah. I mean, it could depend on the visual, but yeah.
is important as well.
Yeah.
So the sound designer for this movie, his name's Johnny Burns.
Johnny Burns.
And him and Jordan Peele worked together very closely to create kind of this idea of sonic ambiguity.
Yes.
Right? Which goes a lot with some of the visual ambiguity that happens in this film that we'll get to in a second.
Okay.
So when we're talking about sonic ambiguity, we're basically talking about like sounds that we can't tell what we're hearing, right? Or it could be many things. So like a really great example is after the Star Lasso experience debacle, where JJ sucks up all those people, as JJ is going around the skies, you can hear screams.
Right.
And I don't know if you felt this way, but I remember hearing, it's like, gosh, those screams sound like screams of horror, but like also screams of like excitement, like the scream somebody might make if they're like on a roller coaster. And that's because that's exactly what they did.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of sounds happening all together to confuse us, basically.
Oh, okay.
To make it like unsure what we're exactly hearing, which also then kind of, creates a little bit of terror, right?
Yeah. And I could see that going with the spectacle thing of like when you see something, a car crash or something.
Yeah.
How sometimes you have that response of sort of like a scream of like laughter almost or something, where it sounds almost joyful because that
and
shock response.
Yeah. And when you hear somebody scream, like obviously depending on the context, you might like take a second to be like, wait a second, are you okay?
Yeah.
Also, the sonic ambiguity helps pay off like the commentary that's happening in this movie about like the blurring of the lines between entertainment and real trauma.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about how they do it. So there's a lot of sonic ambiguity when it comes to JJ, right?
Yeah.
So our ears, human ears, have like a hard time distinguishing between sounds that overlap within certain frequencies. So the sound of JJ before he's, sucked up people, or in between sucking up people, I guess. The sounds he's making. So like, remember the scene when they're back at home after Dad's died, right? And I think it's Ghost who's just like out.
Oh yeah, when Ghost
and
gets
Emerald's
out.
like, "What's Ghost doing?"
Yeah.
And then OJ's like, "I'll take care of it."
Yeah.
So and he comes up
Ghost.
to Ghost and he's so cute. He's like, "What's good?" He's so cute. He loves his horses.
He loves his horses.
So in that scene, there is a lot of sonic ambiguity happening, right? It's like very quiet, nobody's talking, but you can you hear sounds, and they do sound like wind, but they also sound like something else.
Yeah, definitely first time watching the movie.
Yeah.
You hear it and you think, okay, that's just like the wind is picking up or something.
Like
it's just sort of like
desert and it's mountainous. Like the wind's gonna make sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not until the second time you watch it and you know that JJ has people screaming inside of it all the time that you're like, oh wait, that is something else. Also, by the way, I did rewatch just the clip of the part when you can see the people getting eaten.
Yeah.
Looking for that horse skeleton again, and I did see like a skull. It's very much the same color as like JJ's body interior, so it kind of just looks like the skin has like pockmarks in it or something. And then you're like, oh wait, that's an eye and like a nose hole.
Horse skull.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's like as like a woman kind of goes by and you sort of see it.
Yeah, I should watch that again.
Yeah, it's definitely in there.
Okay, I love that. Thank you for checking. Another thing, I was like rewatching a couple of clips, and Mary Jo Ellen does stand up.
She does stand up. Okay.
And her veil lifts.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Anyway.
No, you're right.
So, remember that scene. So, the sound for JJ is created by taking recordings of animal screams.
Okay.
And, like, bird sounds, but, like, augmented and morphed.
Oh.
And then it's blended with sounds of actual wind, right?
Yeah.
And then we also get another sound that sounds similar, which is the sound Ghost makes when he does his little horse, like... Yeah. And so, like, it's quiet, but there's still sound that we could call the wind, but it...
Yeah. I mean, it's good because it's all,
could
like...
be something else. So we're building tension.
Sounds. It's like... I don't know. They could have, like, cheated and just used whatever sounds, but like these are all sounds where you're like, yeah, JJ's probably eating animals and people are screaming, and also there's wind. Like
there's wind, yeah.
It's all above board.
We get the tension building, and then we get like a little fake out jump scare where we get like a big ambiguous thud coming from the house.
Oh yeah.
Which ends up just being M putting on
when she puts on the music.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like,
and she's playing it really loud.
Yes, she is. She sure is. Yeah. Love that for her. Yeah. I mean, they live on a ranch, like,
I know.
They don't have neighbors.
Her dad's dead.
Yeah.
She's like, whatever.
I think, I think that's when they get into the liquor cabinet and the hobby weed and all that stuff. So
yeah. They're sort of mourning / having a bit of a wake celebration.
Yeah. So the sonic ambiguity happens a lot. And then again, after that final abduction scene at the Star Lasso experience, and we can hear the people screaming, it is a combination of screams of horror. Like, they basically told, like, the people who were doing the voice, like, okay, scream like you're on a roller coaster. And scream like
you're being eaten alive.
Eaten by an extraterrestrial predator. So it's a mixture of both.
Interesting.
So it kind of makes it ambiguous, and that's really interesting because it's like the sonic version, again, the terror of hiding under a table.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's the sonic version of when Ricky Jupe is hiding under the table, and there's the table and the tablecloth and, like, the book stand in the way of the kitchen door. So we can't really see what the chimp who's playing Gordy
is doing,
is doing, right?
Yeah.
And that's terror.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So just super cool, I thought. This also makes me think of, I can't remember exactly when it happens in the film. Maybe you can help me out. When we do flash back to the Gordy's home incident, and we start kind of backstage near, like, craft services. There's, like, snacks and a coffee pot bubbling, right?
Yeah.
And we can hear just sort of ambiguous thuds.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, but it's interesting because, our brains are always just funneling out sound that we don't need, but our alertness to sound becomes heightened when we think there might be danger.
Yeah.
Right? So as that tracking shot, as we're going through the backstage.
Right, because it's very quiet.
Very quiet.
Except for those thuds.
Yeah. Which are also, from the backstage, kind of quiet, right?
Yeah. But they stand out so much.
And so you can actually, when they're doing that tracking shot, you can, if you listen carefully, you can hear the coffee pot bubbling. But
you don't really notice that at the time.
Yeah, like, if our, senses are heightened, we're like, what the fuck is that thudding?
Yeah.
Right? Then, like, our brain might be like, oh, fuck the coffee pot, who cares? Even though there are other sounds, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the one that we need to pay attention to.
It makes me think of, like, if you're, I don't know, in a forest or something, and you, like, see a little bit of movement somewhere, you're zeroing in on that spot, the rest of the trees kind of, like, go away.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you know this, but the composer for this film, his name's Michael Abels.
Okay.
And he actually did the soundtracks for all 3 of Jordan Peele's feature-length films. They're
all bangers.
They're bangers, yeah. And I read this article interviewing him, and I just got, like, a bunch of cool quotes about, like, what he was thinking as he was making this. And so, like, him and Jordan Peele have been working together, and I guess I read in this article that Michael Abels would compose something. It's like, okay, here's Haywood Ranch, right, whatever. And then Jordan Peele would like use that music for like a different scene and kind of like mix it up a little bit, which I thought was kind of cool. And then Michael Abels was like, at first I didn't understand, or was like kind of maybe like a little annoyed, or you know, it was like, but then I got it. Like, okay, yeah, cool. So just some stuff that Michael Abels says about writing the music for Nope. He's sort of like infused the notion of duality into the music, like from the very first scene, like the very first scene when we meet OJ and Otis Sr. The track is literally called Haywood Ranch, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting if you listen to it. I mean, you know, this soundtrack is available.
Yeah, you can listen to it
wherever. It's super interesting because there's like the subtle droning of like strings, like kind of anchoring in like a just a nice, even, easy 2-chord progression, right? But then like each pair like acts as a single unit, and so like the notes that they're playing are moving together and apart, like creating intervals that are dissonant that our ears don't really like, right?
Yeah.
To going back to creating intervals that like we recognize as a harmony, right? That like work well together. And that's just like such a cute way of thinking about the Haywoods.
Yeah, it
right?
really is.
Like that's what they're like.
They do have a lot of up and down with each other, working together really well, and then
also sometimes not.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And having a lot of,
and then I just wanted to talk about this because I know we will talk about the Star Lasso experience, but Michael Abels had, you know, some stuff to say about the music that he wrote, which is the music that we hear at Jupiter's Claim, because it's like, you know, a theme park, so there's music playing, right?
Oh, yeah,
which adds to the spectacle, if you ask me.
I will say also in terms of sound design, I do love the his little voiceovers on the intercom about like getting on home or whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah. See you next time. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So he says, kitschy and campy, Jupe embraces the absurdity and pumps vibrant cinematic music from speakers around the park. Without this element, wandering around the park would feel odd. I agree. But with the music, Jupiter's Claim suddenly becomes an experience.
Yes.
Right? Bold and full of brass, which is apparently incredibly atypical for Michael Abels' score for a Jordan Peele movie. But it makes sense, right? That's like
I mean, it's like marching band music. It's exciting. It's rallying.
And it's also like the Western aspect of this movie, right? Because this movie's a Western. It's a sci-fi.
Right,
It's a horror movie, you know, so it's like the Western part of it, right? The track is called Jupiter's Claim. It just like oozes adventure, heroism, also like positive nostalgia.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Especially for Ricky Jupe, I bet. Similarly, its partner track, the Star Lasso Experience. And then it stops there. Starts by building the excitement, right? It's very similar to the track Jupiter's Claim, like sweeping melodic strings, flutes, and then it kind of goes, right? That's JJ comes around. So that's like the obvious Western element. And so there's Western elements and horror elements, but it's, again, good to remember that Nope is also kind of a sci-fi film.
Yeah.
And sci-fi film, like that fact, there's a lot of like musical associations with sci-fi, right? Like you were mentioning this, right? Traditionally, if we think about science fiction or outer space, we usually think about like synthetic or electronic music, right? So like music that's literally devoid of human breath or physical interaction.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you know, like synthesizers are still played by, but still,
No, but I know. Yeah, that electronic.
It's like a cold association.
Yeah.
So
it makes me think of what we sort of talked about with the robots and Alien. A sort of human-ish.
Yeah.
But something not.
But not, yeah.
And so what does that mean about humanity? If you can sort of create this in a cold, a-human way.
Yeah. And just like what's happening in this movie about like, you know, what's happening with the animals. And it's like, what does it mean for a human to have humanity? Why? What gives humans humanity and animals?
And so what makes electronic music less human?
Yeah, right? Even though it's still created by humans.
Yeah.
So pushing against the stereotype, Peele enables decide to go a different direction for the entity known as Jean Jacket, right? So they're like, the sci-fi aspect of this movie, the alien, you know, you would think that they would probably go with something a little bit more electronic.
Oh yeah,
or
like if you
traditional
think
to
of
sci-fi.
like, I feel like I have in my head a sound for like spaceships that are like boop boop boops. Yeah, and like and like the sound of in Star Trek them going into warp speed or something. That just whoop.
That's the sound going into space makes. Yep.
Yeah.
So Abel says it has all these different elements. There's awe and wonder that the characters experience, but there's also the satire. The Western aspects are both legit and satirical. Yep. And then coupled with intentional space, voices singing wordlessly, flutes and bursts of brass, the overall vibe of, the music that plays when JJ is about, right?
Yeah.
The overall vibe draws viewers' attention upward, with a intense sense of awe and dread and terror, while the music helps place the audience in the shoes of the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that thing about it being both like true Western and also kind of satirical Western or like fake Western.
Yeah.
Also makes me think of the contrast between OJ and Jupe, where OJ, he is a cowboy.
He's a cowboy.
He's like literally basically a cowboy.
Literally a cowboy.
He's a horse boy.
Yeah.
And then whereas Jupe's the one out there in his little nudie cone outfit with his cowboy hat and his boots.
Pretending to be a cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not getting the horses to obey him.
Because he's still stuck in this fantasy from his adolescence.
Yeah, yeah. And because he's always taking from other cultures. Because he never got to have his own, I think.
Oh, sweet boy. Yeah.
I don't know.
One
One gets the vibe that he was maybe also adopted.
Maybe.
I know his character in the Gordy's home was adopted, obviously, into that family. I don't know.
I don't know.
Or he had one of those immigrant families that just like was like, we are going to be white American as possible. We are not going to speak the language at home, whatever.
Yeah, we're naming you Rick.
Yeah.
I also just wanted to talk about like the different songs that are used.
Yes.
I know you want to talk about that too, so let's do it. And then I have kind of a theory about this music.
Okay.
There's only really like 5 or 6 songs that are being used in this film that
aren't like composed songs.
That aren't part of the
I think I could
soundtrack.
only remember 3 of them.
You want to go ahead?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I know there's the song that Em is listening to I think that's when she's playing the loud music. That's like a Dionne Warwick song or something. Yeah, that's like about a love. I can't remember what song it is. It's some sort of kind of like
I'm gonna tell you
lost love song or something. Something kind of sad but also loving, romantic. And then obviously there's Sunglasses at Night, which gets all wow. I fucking love that part. I fucking love that part. And then the only one else I remember is at the final showdown when they're trying to draw Jean Jacket out. Em starts playing some sort of song that sounds like maybe it's about space aliens or something, but I don't recognize the song. But Antlers Holst does, because he's like, I don't know, he like chuckles about it or something.
Yeah, it's interesting because she puts it on as they're like about to do the final showdown, and then we go to Antlers, who's outside, but like we can still hear it, so we imagine that he can also hear it, and it's almost like an inside joke to him. Like you do kind of hear him, you see him smirk, and he goes, heh. He gets
the joke.
I have a pretty...
Which actually reminds me of a 4th song.
I have a weak theory about that. What else?
It's not, we don't hear the song, but we do get Antlers' recitation of
Purple People Eater. So to me, that's just like such another fantastic example of how like all of these people's ideas of aliens are coming from the media that they've consumed.
Yeah.
Like, Purple People Eater was like a movie and a song, probably from Antler's childhood.
Yeah, so he goes back to
that's what aliens are to him. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not really relevant to the situation, except for it kind of is. It sort of does look like it has one big eye, right? It's not purple, but it is giant,
it's a people eater.
And it is definitely a people and also horse eater.
Eats a lot.
But like the way he recites it, where he's being so serious about it, yeah, and everybody else at the table is just like, okay.
Yep. Are you done? Yep. Okay. So I picked like 5 of the ones that I think are I didn't pick Flying Purple People Eater.
That's fair.
And I was just gonna go in the order that they appear in the movie. We just talk about them.
We're being very chronological these episodes.
We are, yeah. Oh, you're going to kick yourself because you didn't mention this song, but I know that you remember it. And then is this the song that's used as the theme song for Gordy's Home? You're a Strange Animal?
Oh, right.
Is that the song they use?
Yeah, it is. It is. You're so right.
Yeah. So
is it actually in the movie? I mean, I know it because, okay, we do actually hear it in the movie.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, because it was in because Jordan Peele did release the, like, opening sequence, the opening credits for Gordy's Home where it's playing, yeah.
So, yeah, we hear this track when we cut back to the embedded narrative of Jupe. And it gives us a glimpse into his, like, pretty traumatic backstory, right?
Right.
And so I just want to read you just the first verse of this song, all right?
Yeah.
Well, they say I should approach you with caution, but not to let you be aware of my fear. Never know what you'll find. Don't understand your kind round here. That's just the first verse.
Yeah.
Right?
That's already, yeah.
There's a lot there, especially for Ricky Jupe. But also OJ.
Yeah.
You know? And the Haywoods.
What was that last part? You're kind, or?
The last line is, don't understand your kind round here.
Yeah. That also feels so, like, racial.
Very.
Like,
yeah.
We don't normally see your kind around here.
Yeah.
We don't really tolerate your kind around here. Like, whatever. I'm getting very, like, hicky.
I know.
But
they say, well, or like Western.
Yeah.
Yeah. The very first line is, they say I should approach you with caution.
Yeah.
Right. So we already talked about last time how Jupe kind of like sees himself reflected in the chimps that play Gordy as an animal.
Yeah. Because how could he not when he and these chimps are both playing characters adopted into a white suburban family and being welcomed into this white suburban family while still being pointedly othered.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's that one.
Yeah.
You were right. That is a Dionne Warwick song.
Okay, yeah.
It's called Walk On By.
Walk On By.
Walk On By. All right, I'm done. So I just think it's important for everybody to know that this song has been covered by no less than 12 other artists besides Dionne Warwick. But it wasn't written by Dionne Warwick. It was written by a songwriter.
Yeah.
But Dionne Warwick, this is the original version of this song.
Okay.
And so that feels significant to me. And please allow me to read you some lyrics.
Significant in the sense of, like, the original black jockey of, like, the original...
The original version.
Yeah. And the names that we, like, don't remember as we make new, flashier versions of things.
Yes. Basically. Yeah. So just like the first verse in the pre-chorus is, if you see me walking down the street and I start to cry, each time we meet, walk on by.
Okay.
Make believe that you don't see the tears. Just let me grieve in private, because each time I see you, I break down and cry.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like a sad song, but it also has like the imagery of eyes.
Right. And of like looking or not looking. Yeah. Looking away. Saying, nope, we're not going to have an interaction right now.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Pretend you don't see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ignore this spectacle, because a person walking around in the streets crying is probably a bit of a spectacle that people would want to stare at.
Yeah.
While also being like, oh, wait, I should give them their privacy.
And it's...
But also wanting to be like, but why are they crying? What's going on?
Yeah. Again,
you always want to know why somebody's crying.
Right. The thin line between entertainment and real trauma.
And like, wanting to reach out to help, but also just kind of wanting to reach out to like, what's the gas?
Yeah, right.
And then, of course, it playing during a moment of grieving.
Yeah, that's
where she's perhaps thinking about her father and maybe even her mom. If her mom's dead, we still don't freaking know. And just having this moment of grief, even after having kind of a rough relationship with her dad.
Yeah. Yeah, so that thud, the sonically ambiguous thud, is putting on Walk On By Dionne Warwick.
So it is leading to that.
And then I cannot remember what scene this is a part of, but another song that plays in this movie is the song "This Is the Lost Generation" by the band The Lost Generation. So basically, The Lost Generation is like, it's an American soul band from Chicago.
Okay. So it's just maybe another song that M puts on?
It is, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Active between 1969 and 1974. They only released 2 albums as a group, but it's kind of my understanding that like the members of The Lost Generation, after the group breaks up, like go off to continue to have a
do
career in
music.
music, and might know them from other things. But so to me, The Lost Generation just smacks of the kind of music that is secretly influential to like an entire generation, right?
Oh, okay.
Of more musicians, right? So we're like, oh, I love that. I love this person, or like, well, they wouldn't exist without this, this group, right? Again, kind of going back to like the OG, right?
The original.
And then I also just, I want to read you the first verse because there's relevance. The first verse is, Grandma, your generation believed in talk, scared of the very steps in which you walked. Hey, hey, father listened to all that was said until depression set in, leaving miles unfed. Then you came along and tried to use your own head and think another way. Oh, but the thought was deep within your mind, but you would soon be free one day. Right, so you see the references to, like, past generations. This is the thing, is that, like, the music that's playing at the Haywood House almost certainly are Otis Sr.'s records.
Yeah.
Maybe, OJ and M's mom's records, or maybe even older than that, right?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of interesting, just the idea of legacy and generations.
Like Otis Sr. talks about with his, like, that black jockey was.
Including things like generational wealth.
Yeah.
And generational trauma.
Right. As, like, the only black-owned horse, trainers.
Yep.
And I also think there's something about just, like, the name The Lost Generation in terms of, like, the things that are not written down, the things that are forgotten, which is also very in line with that.
Yep.
That black jockey that we don't know the name of. It's like, what is worth writing down? Who do we actually care about? Well, we care about ourselves. We're not actually thinking about the future, or we're not actually thinking about the past. We're thinking about ourselves right now, and fuck everything else.
Yeah.
Is kind of like the vibe of a whole generation getting lost.
Yeah. And so there's that one other song that kind of ties together my deep thoughts on the function of the soundtrack. But technically, if we're going chronologically, the next song is Sunglasses at Night. So I am just going to be a little bit of a party pooper for a second, because you love this. The jean jacket remix of Sunglasses at Night. So I hate the song Sunglasses at Night.
Well, yeah, it's a bad song.
It's a terrible song.
Everybody knows this.
I've hated it for a very long time.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And I just, like, again, I think we gave Jordan Peele a lot of flowers last episode, and he deserves them. But here's the thing, guys, like, slowing down a popular or well-known song to, like, change the vibe, like, Jordan Peele didn't invent that.
No.
And I don't even think this is the best movie where he's done that, because he did it in Us with I Got 5 on it.
Oh, did he?
Which I think was more effective, in my personal opinion.
When does that happen in? I know that movie's in it, but where does it slow down? Like, why does the song slow down?
Yeah, like, it's not like there's a reason in the movie, like in this one, where Jean Jacket's fucking with stuff. It's just like shit's getting weird,
and then he just does it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, unlike in Nope, where it's, like, diegetic, that's more like of a non-diegetic thing.
Yeah. So, like, in Nope, when we hear the slowed down JJ mix version of Sunglasses at Night, that's
because Angel can hear it, because he's playing the song and the song is slowing down.
So that means it's diegetic.
Yeah, diegetic is the stuff characters can hear.
Hey, I learned two new words today, technically.
Diegetic and
then so undiegetic would be like
non-diegetic.
That tracks. Non-diegetic. Anyway.
Yeah, it would be like soundtracks. The characters do not know that there was a soundtrack playing over what they do.
Yeah.
Whereas diegetic would be like, the sounds that JJ makes are diegetic. The characters can hear it. It's within the sound of the movie.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this because I actually did listen to the Nope soundtrack today.
Yeah, okay.
And I did listen to the JJ remix of Sunglasses at Night. And I was sort of like, I just thought it was cool that because, like, it's my understanding that the song is just being slowed down.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else really happening.
Because the idea is just that, because JJ's flying over and messing with electronics.
Messing with the frequencies or whatever the fuck.
It's making the whole engine, whatever, the power,
yeah.
sort of slow down, and so it's getting
the
slower.
music that's coming through the radio or whatever. Right. So what's so interesting to me is like if you have a record that's like meant to be played 45 rotations per minute, whatever,
Sure.
but then you set your record player to 33 and a third, then like it rotates it slower, and so like it's so interesting that human voices are impacted. Like Corey Hart's voice sounds way lower, right?
Yeah.
Or if you like speed something up,
it's
they're
all
like yeah. But like the musical instruments don't do that. The musical instruments keep their tone.
Is that true?
I mean, it sounded the same.
Okay.
Just slower, whereas like the human voice was just so like noticeably like augmented and different as a result of the slowing down. And actually maybe that's bullshit, but like maybe the tones of the instruments are changing as well.
You
but
just like don't notice it because
don't really
it's
notice,
not,
Well,
because it's not human.
Yeah. Well, and me, I was basically just like listening to the drums and the vocals, and the drums sound
stay
the
drums.
same.
Yeah, because they don't really
slower.
have tone in the same way.
Yeah.
They don't have notes. I mean, they do. Drums technically have notes, but not really. But not in the way that like matters to as much as the beat.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So I don't know. I do feel like the reason why I like that so much is just because it's silly.
It is very silly.
We're listening to Sunglasses at Night.
Yeah.
We know why.
After we've already established.
Yeah. That JJ is drawn to eye contact eventually and treats that as a threat, so you don't want to look at it. I love the scene after OJ figures that out and actually like says it out loud. Like the first time we see the Haywoods during the day, they all have like them and Angel all have sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Just to like cover up their eyes. Yeah. And then we have sunglasses at night. Yeah.
So,
and then it's slowing down with like this sort of silly song that's like so on the nose.
It's
then feeding into this like terror as it slows down, and you know what it means, and you're like, something is coming now. I don't know. I like that. I guess I like the like total shift that happens there between the sort of like comedy and horror,
and like the sort of low stakes pop song that is Sunglasses at Night by Corey Hart, right?
Yeah.
So it gets like chopped and like screwed up, the remix, right? And it helps us build empathy, like the fact that these characters are quite jarred.
Yeah.
They're living in a new, very terrifying world.
And Sunglasses at Night, that's a kind of another song about like wearing the sunglasses so that you can't see.
You want me to read you some lyrics?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, I would say 75% of the song is I wear my sunglasses at night.
So whack.
So I can. But the first verse is I wear my sunglasses at night. So I can. Keep track of the visions in my eyes. And then another one is I wear my sunglasses at night. So I can. See the light that's right before my eyes. So again, more eyes.
Yeah, just more eyes and stuff. I was thinking that it would be more... I've never fucking actually listened to the song in any way where I retained any of what it was about.
Again, I think I always 75% of the lyrics.
I think I always assumed it would be more about like I wear my sunglasses at night so that you can't like... Kind of in the same way as that Dionne Warwick song of like, don't look at the emotions.
Perceive me.
Don't perceive me. Don't look at my emotions, which is very on theme with this movie.
And don't look into my eyes.
And like how I think the Haywoods and Jupe deal with like trauma and stuff is just sort of be like, don't look at it.
Don't look at him, yeah. Well, and I mean, it ends up working out for him. In the end.
Well, and I guess don't look at it isn't exactly right for Jupe because he is very much looking at it, but he's looking at it as like a sitcom. Yeah. It's fine. He's like not actually sitting
I can exploit, make money off of.
Yeah.
It's totally within my control. Okay, let's talk about eczema. I'm a little bit obsessed now.
Eczema? No, I don't have eczema.
Eczema is probably how you're supposed to say it, not eczema. I know what you mean. Okay. So
it's so rare you say something weird.
I know, right? So I learned about this person, and I what I've learned about them, they seem super duper cool. So his full name, birth name, is McFarlane Gregory Anthony McKay. But professionally, he's known as Tony McKay or Eczema over the course of his career.
Very similar names. I can see how he got there.
Yeah, I mean, his second to last name is Anthony. Yeah, anyway. So he is a a black artist from the Bahamas.
Okay,
and his
okay.
music is deeply influenced by West African and Bahamian traditions of something called obia. Do you know what obia is?
I've heard it before.
I literally learned what it was today. Anything you feel like you could be like,
Not
I
confidently.
think I know? Okay.
Because I feel like the things that I've heard about it from come from like Marvel comic books or something, you know,
Okay.
or like TV shows or something,
Okay.
you know?
Well, let me tell you, and I guess we'll see how close
Yeah.
you are. So it's just like a system of like spirituality and healing practices that were
Yeah.
developed among like enslaved West Africans in the West Indies, specifically the Bahamas.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly the same, but like spiritually and socially serves a very similar function to like Haitian voodoo.
Yeah,
And, like,
that was sort
Cuban
of what I was
Santeria.
thinking. It was in line with that.
Yeah.
I swear there's like a Luke Cage villain who's like coming from the Bahamas.
Maybe, yeah. As like with basically everything that happens in the Caribbean during and after the Atlantic slave trade,
Yep.
a lot of cultures and ethnicities are mixing together. So it basically, like, the foundation of obia is from like the Ashanti, who are like the indigenous people
Okay.
to what is now Ghana, and then it gets mixed in with some South Asian,
Okay.
Hindu and Muslim influence, and then
Okay.
of course Western European Christian influence, right?
Yeah.
It gets first identified in like the British colonies in the Caribbean, like the 17th century. So, enslaved Africans who were transported to the Caribbean during the 17th and 18th centuries are coming from societies where spiritual power plays a prominent role.
Okay.
So there's considerable variation in
Yeah.
like religious beliefs and practices, because there always is, right?
Yeah, right.
But it's just like sort of a generally shared belief that ancestors and spirits can act on the physical world,
Okay,
and
yeah.
thus should be respected and cared for.
Yeah.
And so we get, and I actually listened to the whole album today. The album is called Exuma.
Okay.
And the first track is Exuma, the Obia Man.
Oh.
And it's like, it's a banger. I've listened to it like 3 times today. I'm like,
I know when it. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it plays in the movie, I'm always like, yeah, we're going, we're ready.
Yeah. So
Well, and there's some sort of space stuff going on.
please
but I can-
allow me to read
Okay,
you some
yes,
lyrics.
please
So
do.
this is just like an amalgamation of lyrics from just like the first couple of verses. Well, the very first 4 lines is, I came down on a lightning bolt,
Yeah.
9 months in my mama's belly. When I was born, the midwife screamed and shout, I had fire and brimstone coming out my mouth.
Oh.
So it's sort of like that spiritual thing, like
Yeah.
I am connected to
the
something
natural,
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some sort of natural power.
Yeah, and then the second verse is, Exuma was my name when I lived in the stars.
Oh.
Exuma was a planet that once lit Mars. I've got
So yeah, there is space stuff.
I've got the voice of many in my throat,
Uh-huh.
the teeth of a frog, and the tail of a goat.
Okay.
So there's some animal references.
and the throat of many in my throat literally is what JJ's got going on.
Yeah,
He's got so many people screaming in his throat.
it sure do. So this, I think, finally brings me to, now I can finally put together my deep thought.
An hour into our podcast.
My deep thought on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
An hour in. Yeah. Well, we had to tell the story of the monkey's paw. Anyway, so especially the music that's played in this movie is usually through the Haywood's record player.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is music that to me has probably been passed down.
Right.
From
This
generations.
Is all, there's not ever any songs that are part of the soundtrack that the characters aren't hearing. It's all
That's true.
diegetic.
It's all
right?
diegetic.
Yeah.
That word. Yes.
It's all music that they are actually hearing and listening to.
And also like making the active choice
to listen. Yeah, mostly
to put
M,
on.
but
yeah. But
also
still.
Angel and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the music that their parents listen to, like maybe even their grandparents,
Right?
Or their
legacy, ancestry,
Great,
great.
great.
Probably
Yeah.
not the music that
Probably
they're-
not that, but still, yeah.
the idea.
And
well,
the-
and he's the black jockey, supposedly also from the Caribbean,
Oh, that would make
right?
a ton of sense.
Isn't that what they say in the story? That he's like,
probably?
I think so.
And it's also, it's not surprising at all, but like the music in their house is overwhelmingly by black artists.
Right, yeah.
Obviously. And so especially the linchpin is the use of Exuma the Obia man, that like the music functions to me as ancestor veneration.
Yeah.
Especially when they play Exuma.
Right.
It's like we need every power and energy we can
Right.
get. Nature, ancestors, everybody.
Otis
Otis Sr.
Right. It's that idea of how
Help us out.
we said last episode how OJ and M are kind of like two sides of the same coin, and they're two parts of what made Otis Sr. We have like the face who can like sell and like be there as M, and then OJ, who actually understands the horses and like that side of the business.
The business, yeah.
And like Otis Sr. could do both, and so like they need his help to sort of like combine his powers into a way that's like cohesive.
Like this movie raises a lot of questions about like how do we decide who and what gets remembered? Like we keep going back to the Black Jockey. And so like to me, even like a group like the Lost Generation, right, who are only active for like 5 years, only put out a couple of albums, right? That like this Black media and these Black experiences are being preserved for at least by them, at least, you know, like they're continuing on their tradition and the legacy, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's like an ancestor veneration ritual.
Yeah.
And they're like, help us out, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need some stuff. And then
it's interesting that it's Antlers who sort of like gets it.
So I have a theory about that. And I think it's just because Antlers is old.
Yeah.
And he just has an older reference of music.
That was kind of the vibe. It really was. You just sort of got that. It's like, oh yeah, Starman. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like they could have been playing like Starman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like any sort of like David Bowie song or something.
Yeah, a bunch of David Bowie songs
or something. Like, and he would have laughed in the same way probably.
Yeah.
Without getting that sort of like more specific Black reference. I don't know.
Yeah. And then we will talk about JJ. But to me, it is not an accident or a coincidence that when JJ like really fucks up their house.
Oh, yeah.
It particularly goes after the record collection. Like the records are strewn about outside and like OJ was like picking them up. And I'm like, oh shit, he's fucking with the record collection.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's fucking with their ancestors. Rude.
And then weirdly... I mean, we'll talk more about the final confrontation later, but we already did sort of mention how they use those little Monopoly pieces to represent themselves when they're mapping it out.
Yeah.
And the thing that they use to represent Jean Jacket is a record.
They do?
Yeah, they use a record because it's kind of shaped like JJ.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big round circle with a hole in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, you're right.
So once again, we have those like repeating imagery, those motifs. It's beautiful. God, this movie. I didn't know there was something
Jordan
else.
Peele. And it just kind of made me think about some queens from RuPaul's Drag Race. The, Black queens who were like, my drag is unapologetically Black, like Bob the Drag Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Shea Coulee. Most recently, Anya Nerf.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And we see them on the runway, and, like, we hear their voiceover, and they're like, I feel, like, powerful, like, in my afro, and, like, I feel black, and I feel beautiful, you know? And, like, that's just kind of, to me, the vibe of, like, the Haywood household.
Yeah.
Where it's not othering, and it's not, like...
it's not like it is when they're at the commercial or whatever, and it's like everybody else in that room is like white or light skinned. Yeah. And there's a white actress being like, your name's OJ?
Yeah.
It's like, it's a very different community.
I believe what we would call microaggressions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When they're in their home, they don't have to deal with that.
They can just
be. And then JJ kind of like attacks their home, though.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
He's an invasive species.
Seems like it, yeah.
And I think that's very interesting in contrast to Jupe, who is so disconnected from his own culture. Or, I mean, I guess we don't really know what relationship he has with his own culture, if any, because all we ever see is his relationship to whiteness.
Yeah.
And the way that he tries to, I mean, it seems like for whatever reason, like I said about like feeling like maybe he was adopted or something, that he has some sort of reason to not be connected to, or he just didn't have a good relationship with his parents.
Yeah.
Like child actors often don't.
Yeah.
Like who knows? Like there seems to be some sort of disconnect there.
Yeah.
Where
his family is like another further source of exploitation for him, right?
And so instead he is very, I don't know, in like a more harmful way of the way that M is like a little magpie and will just like take clothes from people. He seems to just sort of be taking culture from people a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really have that connection to his own. I think about it in like, it's such a meaningful part that's sort of like a joke. It's like funny when, this is before the Star Lasso experience, when they first come in to talk to him about selling Lucky,
yeah.
and they're talking about it, and they're coming inside, and M was like asking if she can look around.
Yeah.
And Jupe says, "Su casa es mi casa."
Yeah.
Which is like funny. Like a lot of people have pointed out, like he's mixed up the saying. It's supposed to be mi casa,
casa,
so, you know,
su
like
casa,
my
yeah.
house is your house.
Yes.
Instead, he's saying that your house is my house, which is relevant when he's literally planning to buy out their entire property.
Yeah.
But I also think it's interesting because it is another example of him taking another culture. Like he's taking this like Western identity, which does also have a lot of influence from like there were a lot of like Mexican cowboys, you know,
like most of them, and like a quarter of them were black.
Yeah.
And actually, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Did you know that like the term cowboy was racialized?
Oh, I don't think I've heard that before, but I don't remember the details of it.
They were effectively called cowmen, right? But of course, racism, right? Black men were often referred to as boy, right?
Yeah.
And so
to like belittle them,
they become like the black people, people who in this profession become cowboys.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as happens in American culture a lot, like black people are kind of like put down and not allowed access to spaces. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to make the space we're in the best space.
And then white people are like, that looks cool.
Yeah. Oh, cowboys, huh?
Yeah. The same way they take the language or the clothing or even today.
So
us.
I actually want to do have something else to say about Jupe.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I was like, do we need to talk about Jupe more? Actually, yes.
Always,
yeah. Just because, like, Steve Yeun.
I know, he does wonderfully.
What a gem.
I know. I'm so glad they ended up casting him.
Yes. Anywho, he probably has a hard time understanding what his culture is, and he's taking from, other cultures. And I mean, also, like, if he was a child star and he was on that show, Kid Sheriff, like, his understanding of other cultures is a Hollywood understanding of other cultures, which is... we can utilize these to the point of exploitation for our profit.
And spectacle. And it's one that's very without like nuance and like the reality of it and like the dirt and grime and trauma of it. I don't know. I think about it as like Disney nature. How it's always beautiful and cute and clean. So clean.
Every animal is so beautiful.
And it's like there's no dirt.
Yeah.
In Disney nature.
No.
You're not getting dirty in Disney nature. Like that's like the Hollywood understanding of a kids movies cowboy adventure.
Yes.
And you can see that in his theme park, just like in a Disney theme park.
Although it is very dusty.
Right. Yeah, because you can't help it. You really can't help the dust,
No,
you know?
I don't think
And
you
once
can.
again, that's a situation where like the fantasy that Jupe lives in butts up against the actual reality, and he can't really handle that. I mean, I think that's why the Star Lasso experience is so fascinating, is because that's the biggest time when that happens. It's where it's like finally comes to a breaking point where his fantasy can no longer be supported by the reality.
Yeah, reality
because
is crashing
like,
down on him.
Because this is the time where we get him literally whispering to himself, "You're chosen. You're chosen." Did you hear him saying that?
Oh, you know what?
Right? Because this is when this is like the Star Lasso experience. He's getting it together. He has the whole audience there. He has his employees there.
Yeah.
He has his
Mary
first
Jo Ellen.
crush, Mary Jo Ellen there. He has his family there.
Yeah.
He has interaction with this creature. I kind of did the math because it was like 6 months ago, and he talked about it being like
every Friday.
So it's like around 20 times. Always at night, because he talks about how it always appears at 6:13 p.m., which again, doubt.
Yeah.
I think it always appears around sunset, which I'll speak about more when we get to the golden hour.
Oh yeah.
But I think my theory is that Jean Jacket
the shadows are long.
is what's that word? Crepuscular.
Crepuscular.
There it is.
You got it.
I think that's what Jean Jacket is.
Oh.
Dawn and dusk. That's my vibes.
Dawn and dusk. I love it. Okay.
That's my vibes for him. But that's not relevant. So anyway, so he's like doing this. He's getting himself hyped up in front of this audience. He turns his back on the audience and he whispers to himself, "You're chosen." Because he really believes, because of his experience with Gordy that we talked about last time,
Yes.
that he has some sort of special,
He escaped unscathed.
and he has some sort of special power to like tame these creatures. He is special in some sort of way. And this is where we get what he views the aliens as, based on his understanding of aliens, probably through the movies and
Media,
whatnot he's
yeah.
seen, which is where he finally says, this is what we haven't really talked about yet.
Yeah.
We are being surveilled by an alien species I call the viewers.
The viewers, yes.
Remember that his design for the aliens, the little masks, look identical to the type of cameras that they used on his sitcom.
To the camera, yeah.
He doesn't know how to exist if he's not being viewed. And it's like kind of like how
he's desperate for attention.
yeah. He doesn't know how to exist when the camera isn't on. This is a really weird reference to make right now, but you're familiar with J.J. Siwa?
Jojo Siwa?
Excuse me. I said JJ because of JJ. You're familiar with Jojo Siwa, though?
I am familiar with Jojo Siwa because I watched her when she was on Dance Moms.
Okay, yes.
That's a pull.
Yes.
Dance Moms.
Okay,
Anyway.
right. But she's another child actor, dancer, singer,
Yeah.
performer.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. Dance
thing-
Moms is a horrible show. They do terrible things
Yeah.
to those children. Yeah, yeah.
And she has never not been in the limelight. She got very incredibly popular with children of a certain age for a while there, and she
Yeah.
still has some popularity.
My Lucy was Jojo Siwa one Halloween.
Yeah, she's huge. Yeah, the little scrunchies are stillborn all the time.
Yep.
Recently, she was on fucking Big Brother.
No way.
Yeah,
How old is she now?
she's in her 20s.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she had a
Wow.
whole gay awakening.
Yes,
she was a lesbian,
She was
for
lesbian
a while.
for a minute, and now I think she's
dating a man.
I think she's
that she met on Big Brother.
love it.
The reason for that I'm mentioning all this
Yes.
is because Jojo Siwa, coming out of that, said that she felt like she could be the most herself during the time that she was away on Big Brother. And the idea that the time that this child actor felt like she was the most free to be herself is a time when she was being surveyed literally 24/7 in the Big Brother house.
When she's on TV.
When she's literally on camera every single moment of her life.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, that's what we do to child actors.
Yeah.
And celebrities in general.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, I'm gonna come back to Dance Moms because I used to watch that show, and I would be blown away at like these very young girls, incredibly talented dancers.
Yeah.
But then in my brain, I'd be like, but they don't get a childhood.
Yeah.
They're those kids. Some of those girls didn't go to school.
Right.
Like, or they had some weird, shady homeschool situation
Well,
so they could dance more.
Yeah,
They were
I mean-
gone every weekend. Their parents were spending thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and that's how it is for child actors too, where
Yeah.
they like go to school, quote unquote, but they have like a tutor there in like a trailer that they would go to because they have to be in school certain hours.
Yeah.
But they would be like still on set while they're like quote unquote at school learning.
And yeah, they're supposed to have a specific a minimum set of time with
Yeah.
their tutor.
Yeah.
I learned this from reading Neil Patrick Harris's autobiography.
Okay, yeah.
A child star, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, they have a specific window, a minimum amount of time
Yeah.
that they have to be with you. And the second after the minimum window passes, like you're usually
out.
called back. Like you don't really
you don't get to like finish the lesson
to
or like
focus
yeah.
on education as
Or like
much.
figure out how to do your own homework.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's so fucking irrelevant that he assumes automatically, kind of like in the same way that OJ is the one who could recognize that JJ is an animal because he works with animals.
Yeah.
Like,
and he has a much healthier understanding of the relationship between humans and animals.
yeah.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Jupe can only see that these are things watching him because he only knows, like, that is his career. He only knows to be watched, like,
Yeah.
as a child actor and also as, like, an Asian person who is constantly putting himself in white spaces.
Yeah. And constantly being given like token roles until he's not given any more roles at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's like, he's no longer that cute kind of chubby Asian kid. That's like funny comic relief.
Yeah.
Because he's so like different, basically.
But like, he's hot as fuck.
I know, right?
Totally find
But,
something
I
for
mean-
him to do.
And yet, in Hollywood today,
Asian
like-
representation is trash.
I was still waiting every goddamn day of my life
Yeah.
for John Cho to get to be a fucking rom-com star.
Yeah.
John Cho as a rom-com star?
Yeah.
When is that happening?
John Cho's hilarious.
And like
Yeah.
so good at like the romance stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's beside the point. But like, yeah, Stephen Ewan is hot.
Yeah.
Where's his romantic lead roles?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Why is it that he's getting like one of the meatiest roles I've ever seen him in is this one?
Yeah.
which is done by another person of color.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we could talk forever about how, like, Hollywood's Asian representation has and continues to be absolute trash.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I was angry when I first learned this, that Lucy Liu is the first...
God, I love her.
She's amazing. She was the first Asian woman to host SNL.
Yeah.
SNL had been around for 25 years before an Asian woman hosted it. And I'm like...
Right. And if you look at the stats for, like,
I'm
how
not
many
buying it.
Asian people have won, like, Academy Awards, it's always interesting.
Of, like, the big ones, like Best Actress, Best Actor.
The interesting thing is that
Director.
they'll often get, this is true of a lot of, like, foreign films and stuff, but also films that are, like, majority, like, Asian cast. They'll get Best Movie without getting even nominations for Best Actor or Best Director or something. It's like, how are you acknowledging
How
that
is
this
it
is the
this
best
good of a
movie,
movie?
and you're not going to give...
If the performances aren't that great.
Like that happened with Parasite, I think. It
Oh my
fucking won
gosh,
Best
yes,
Picture,
it did
and it
win
had
Best
like
Picture.
no other nominations
God,
practically.
that movie is good. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Anyway.
So there
We
is
can
that
move
whole thing going on, and then there is
poor Ricky
Jupe's,
Jupe.
and then there's Jupe's thing about thinking that he is somehow special or chosen.
Yeah.
Where he says, "I think," talking about the aliens, because he thinks it's a spaceship full of aliens.
Yes, he thinks it's multiple
Yeah.
extraterrestrials.
And he says, "I think they trust me because if they didn't, I don't think any of us would be here right now."
Oh.
So like he literally thinks he is saving like the human race basically by giving them the gift of horses. You know?
One horse once a week is going to just
like
smooth
it's
this whole
so
thing over.
fucking crazy. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's wild. And the other thing,
We mentioned this last time. Like, he is learning every wrong lesson.
yes.
Yeah. He's
And
taking
yes.
away all of the wrong things.
And I love in this moment that Lucky becomes Jupe in a weird way, where I think I mentioned this last time. He hides in that glass box, kind of in the same way that Jupe was hiding under the table. He ends up being like the only one who doesn't catch Jean Jacket's attention in the same way that like Jupe didn't catch the chimp's attention, at least not until the last moment when it was all over. And like, once again, Jean Jacket would have eaten Lucky. Jean Jacket loves to eat a horse. It really is just that Lucky gets fucking lucky.
Lucky is
And that's like the
named that
same
for a reason. Yeah.
as Jupe did with the Gordy chimp. Like neither of them are actually chosen, which is like made really clear with the fact that the horse is named Lucky. Like they're both even actually initially Lucky and Jupe, I mean, set up to be part of a spectacle.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the show. Look at the little cute Asian kid trying to act like he's a part of the suburban white family.
Yeah.
Look at this horse that's about to get eaten. We're going to like chew these people up and spit them out so that we can have our spectacle and like get ourselves rich and famous and not really have any concern for how Ricky is or any concern for how Lucky is. Like Jupe really is just lucky, like capital L lucky, not chosen.
Absolutely. But it's not like, I mean, I think a lot of people, I feel like it's usually something people experience in their adolescence, but like a lot of people are like, I think there's something special about me.
Yeah.
They want to be.
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Something,
I mean, and you
yeah.
can say, I mean, in
That
a
there's
weird
something
way,
unique and
a lot of
special
what he's
about
doing
all
isn't
of us.
actually that different from what Emerald Haywood is doing. She also wants to be special.
She's
She wants
hustling.
to be an actor.
She's
she
a
can
multi-hyphenate.
sing. Yeah, she can do all that. And like her goal with this alien is to get the quote unquote Oprah shot. So it's like, I mean, and actually, in a way, what Jupe is doing is actually smaller scale. He's not trying to get like a huge Oprah shot. He's trying to have a little theme park attraction.
Yeah, he just says.
While
yeah.
also thinking that he's saving the world. But, you know, meanwhile, like...
Well, Angel also thinks he's saving the world.
he does, right?
Or wants to.
So it's interesting, like, these motivations are kind of the same, because also I think Em and Ricky are both motivated by money to some degree.
Yeah, and
fame.
And fame and attention.
Fame
Yeah.
and attention, yeah. So it's like, the only thing that makes him, like, a sort of antagonistic figure in this film versus the Haywoods and Angel is sort of that... What? I guess I don't know. Just that he had different methods. That he didn't read the situation as clearly as they did, that it was an animal. And so he didn't make the right calculations.
Yeah, he he comes to every single wrong conclusion.
Yeah. But like they kind of start out with the same goals.
Yeah.
And their methods aren't like... They're different because the Haywoods would never risk any of their horses or like other people in the way that Jupe does.
Yeah.
But they're also doing kind of the same thing where they're like, we want this spectacle. We want to get famous off of this spectacle. It's just that they have a little bit more like caution about it than he does.
Yeah. Probably because, I mean, you know, the Haywoods have like, I mean, this is like speculation because it's not really in the movie, but like the Haywoods have like a much more structured upbringing.
Yeah, it
right?
does seem like
they
that.
don't grow up in the limelight.
Yeah.
Knowing what all that attention
Like they
is
probably
like.
just they went to school, they came home, they helped out on the ranch,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
They had at least one parent for their whole childhood.
Yeah.
If not both for most of it. We fucking
We don't know. Yeah.
It's just ugh. The missing mother in narratives still get me. I will give you so many flowers, but like why the missing mother in all these narratives?
Yeah.
But no, my other main question
Well,
about
it's because we already talked about Alien.
yeah.
Anyway. Your question?
About the Star Lasso experience
Okay.
is like, why does Jean Jacket come early? Because he surprises them by coming at a different time than they expect, so they have to kind of like, oh shit, put on the music, like stop the music. I don't remember.
Yeah,
you know, and like they were about to send the boys out to like do something, and then
yeah,
bring
to
them
have
back
them
in,
do a thing, but, yeah.
and then they're like, oh shoot, I think that's when she says
Trained
animals
can be unpredictable.
predictable. Yeah, I think it's there.
Amber, girl, you're smarter than that.
Yeah, but I'm also like, what changed for Jean Jacket? I mean, first off, I wonder how reliable Jupe was in understanding the time that he's like, really, it's 6:13 every fucking Friday, always 6:13. I'm like, is it? Granted, my dog knows exactly when it's dinner time every day. Like, there's things that animals know based on time. Like, they can get that habit or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't know. I feel
after like daylight savings time ends or something.
oh yeah, and your dog's like,
the
your
animals
cats
are like, what the fuck
yeah.
is going on? Yeah. Anyway.
But also, I don't think it's down to the minute.
No, I don't think so.
No, I
either.
think it's just sort of like sunset, and maybe it's just that depending on what time of year it is, I think it's September.
Yeah.
I think the flyer says it's September.
Okay, yeah. And then
So-
it's been about 6 months.
Yeah, so it could just be that like time has
Like
changed.
March-ish.
So I wonder if he was getting used to later sunsets,
Maybe.
and now the sunsets are getting earlier again, so it's coming earlier.
Maybe.
Because he was kind of going towards summer,
But,
and now
like,
he's moving
this-
away
the
from summer.
Thing though is like, I mean, around here, I don't actually know what it's like in Southern California. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're quite Southern California, but like
That's true, I don't
here
really know either.
in
I
the
don't live
summer. Well, September's different, but like in the summer, it doesn't get dark till like 9:30.
That's true, yeah.
But I see what you're trying to say.
I'm just
see
trying to figure out if there's
the
like an
point.
actual thing to it other than that wild animals are unpredictable. Which, like, yeah, that is on Jupe for thinking he could control it to,
Yeah,
to the point of doing that.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm just like, is it just that there was more noise with the crowd and the music?
Right, or like Jean Jacket perceived
Yeah.
the extra
Attention.
attention,
The extra
and
eyes.
the extra food.
I also think about the fact that, like, this is right after the Haywoods put out that fake horse,
Yeah.
and it's currently stuck in Jean Jacket's throat.
Yeah, the
so it
thing
might
is-
just be fucking
yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
And ornery and wanting to get like some more food to try to help clear out this tickle. You know, when you have a
Yeah.
tickle in your throat and you want to like drink something, maybe
Yeah.
he's doing that, but with people. You know, I also thought about maybe it's getting hungry over time, like hungrier.
Yeah.
Like, because we first hear about like these 2 hikers that go missing, and then like we get some horses that are going missing,
and then the
pretty
horses
often.
start to go. Yeah.
And now it's like ready for like a crowd, and it's just like getting more voracious in what it's eating.
I like that.
And then also there's a thing about how like maybe there's a comment about how there might be a storm coming. And that's either a comment to the fact that they're seeing clouds and it's like Jean Jacket activity, or it's like there's an actual storm maybe coming, and since it's a creature that makes a home in the clouds, maybe it's sensing some sort of like barometric pressure change, and that changes its behavior. I don't know. I have
don't
a lot of theories.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what Jean Jacket's like. Basically, Jean Jacket had like a balloon pop moment, like Gordy had.
Yeah.
Or like a mirror in the face, like Lucky had.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering what it is, because we really know what it is with the horse and the monkey, but like Jean Jacket is too unknowable, I guess, for us to know what his trigger was.
Right. Yeah. Like I wrote this down when I first watched it, as I was like keeping track of like notes on the different characters. I was like, okay, like what's JJ's deal? Like what is it capable of? And then, like I just noticed that like it seems capable of spite
It does kind of. Like the fact that it
and revenge.
spits up the horse, the
Yeah.
fake horse decoy on the car.
Right through the windshield.
Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, maybe that's just close to where it picked it up because they picked it up somewhere along the road, but also it seems very spiteful.
It's very spiteful.
And, like,
I'm like, huh.
OJ specifically says that it's like territorial and thinks this area is its home.
Right.
So it's also just sort of seeing these threats and trying to clear the space out.
Yeah.
It's like, I see activity at this home. I'm going to spit up all my blood on it.
Right,
To
which-
try to like mark my territory.
So yeah, because what like JJ seems to consume organic materials.
Yes.
But I mean, this is the thing: is like it like spits out the metal, which is
Yes.
but like metal is technically organic,
Yeah, but it's not digestible.
digestible, soft tissue.
Yeah.
which just kind of seems like
Because it
what
also
wants.
doesn't seem like it can digest the bone.
It doesn't do bones. Yeah,
Or maybe it does. It just takes longer to digest the bone.
Yeah,
or
so,
something.
like-
and it also like somehow able to be kind of picky about what it eats. Like it knows to avoid after it eats that decoy horse. It knows to be afraid of like those little flags, which they use to their advantage
Yes.
in the finale, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about. But also, there's like somebody on the internet, probably on fucking Tumblr, 'cause that's where I live, pointed out that like when OJ gets to the Star Lasso experience in the aftermath,
Yes.
and everybody's fucking gone,
Yes.
there is a pig on the roof.
the pig. Yes,
Yes, you ever thought about why that pig is on that fucking roof?
Oh, I know absolutely why that pig is
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
roof because
yeah.
pigs can't look up.
Right, yeah, that was pointed out on the internet. Yeah, but it's and so it's like obviously it got swept up enough to get thrown onto a roof.
Yeah.
But then it didn't get eaten because it wasn't a threat. So
It's a
somehow
pig. It can't look up. Yeah.
yeah, so somehow June Jackie can be selective enough to be like, I want these people and not that creature
I don't
because
need
he's a
that.
friend.
Yeah, because he's respecting my personal space.
Yeah, but also not enough to be like, I want this person but not their wheelchair. I'll spit that up later.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, and so, yeah, again, what makes me think this alien is a spiteful bitch
Yeah.
is like when the blood rain comes.
Yeah,
right? It's like
yeah.
That blood and like, I mean, there's like viscera and guts. Like it's not
Yeah.
just blood. Like it's
It's disgusting.
human remains. It's disgusting. It's like human parts. It's interesting because like we kind of at that point understand that JJ would consume that. That's what he would.
Right.
And so it's like so maybe that's why he comes early. Maybe
Yeah.
he's like, oh shit, look at all these people, or look at all these eyes that I can take, and then like go fuck
You're
up these
also
people
making
over
me
here.
think though, because I'm also still thinking about that decoy horse, which
Yeah.
he spits up right after he spits up all that other shit. Maybe he needed that to like dislodge the horse.
Yeah.
I mean, he was still very spiteful and like I don't know why I'm gendering it. It was still very
I was
spiteful.
thinking about the gender of JJ. I've also been using he, but I
Yeah.
was thinking, I was like, honestly, they or it.
Yeah, I feel like
feels
it feels the
accurate.
most accurate.
Yeah. Anyway.
But anyway, maybe it ate all these people to kind of dislodge this, this little bit of whatever it's got stuck in its throat,
Which was maybe a
And then-
danger to it,
and then needed to spit up all of this nutrient that it would otherwise eat
just to get
to
that
get
thing
it
out. of there.
out. As like something, and then of course, being very selective in where it does it. Like these are the people who have been bothering me.
It literally did it
I'm gonna-
just around the house.
Yeah, and then went right over to that truck and was like, "Let me just drop this horse right
Yeah,
here,
right.
right fucking here."
Yep.
I just want to know if it could like sense maybe also that Lucky is in there and it's like the horse that got away. I will eat that horse.
Get that horse. Yes.
And I really do want to talk about the final confrontation, but before we get to that, I think we should talk a little bit about
Have to talk
antlers,
about antlers.
especially since I brought up briefly Golden Hour.
Yes.
That's like such a big part of what he's doing.
Yes. I have many thoughts about antlers. Is there a specific place you want to start?
I mean, I want to get to the Golden Hour stuff, but I feel like maybe it's important to start with kind of like the beginning-ish, not where he was at the commercial, because we kind of already talked about that,
Yeah.
and there's not really much else there, or like, but like when Emerald calls him to initially try to get him on board, and he turns them down, but like that conversation I think is interesting because she's trying to convince him, and she says that it's about the shit dreams is made of. And Antler says, this dream you're chasing, the one where you end up at the top of the mountain, all eyes on you, it's the dream you never wake up from.
Yep.
Which is kind of literally what we were talking about with Jupe and M having kind of similar motivations, wanting that fame and the attention and stuff. And that Hollywood dream, it's the Hollywood dream.
The dream of attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the dude literally dies on top of like, not quite a mountain, but like a mountain, a
he
hilly
literally
area.
walks up a hill.
He walks up a hill,
Yeah.
and it's not all eyes on him, but it's one very big eye on
eye,
him. Because he knows, you never wake up from it. He's been chasing it forever. He does a few movies to get paid so that he can do the movies he actually cares about. And
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah, so I spent quite a lot of time just thinking about antlers and just pondering the question why.
yeah.
And I actually saw a theory on Reddit that I love and now subscribe to, that Antlers is already terminally
That's
ill.
what I was thinking.
Yeah. Because we see him take a pill from a prescription bottle.
It could literally be anything.
Could be
but
like
there
blood
is something
pressure
about
medications.
his way of being.
He wears all black, which no shade. He's also the only character who's not constantly branded.
Yes.
He's just wearing like
all
black clothes that they're not,
in a way that's very trendy, very chic,
artiste.
Very artiste,
Yes.
very chic. Loving it.
So like I'm wondering,
I got that implication too, that maybe he was
terminally
dying.
ill, he's going to die anyway, so instead of wasting over a long period of time, maybe
he wants to go out and
go out in a spectacle.
Go out in a spectacle, literally.
Yeah.
It's like, that dream never, and you never wake up from the dream. And he just I don't want to wake up from the dream. Mm-hmm. I want to be on top of that hill with a giant eye on me and end it there. I do think it's interesting. It is like what drew him to this is that they talk about how they're trying to get the impossible shot, something that can't be caught on film, and that does seem really relevant to him. And also right before he dies, what he says is, because
it's okay,
we're getting into the
Angel.
golden hour.
Yeah.
He wants to lure Jean Jacket out at golden hour,
Yeah.
which is like around sunrise or sunset, right?
Because that's when like the natural lighting is really, really good.
And if it was
the shadows are low.
And if my theory is true that he is crepuscular, then you could be thinking, oh, that's why you want to do it, because he's an animal and we're going to treat the animal when he's most active. Is that the best idea? I don't know. You could appreciate it as an animal. He's not approaching it as an animal. He's approaching it as a spectacle.
Yeah.
When can I get the most beautiful shot of this creature? The most captivating shot of this creature?
I don't know if I completely agree.
Okay.
I was just asking myself a few questions, like, is Antler suicidal?
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought maybe, in a Lovecraftian way, like, does the cosmic horror of seeing JJ
kind of fuck with him,
push him over the edge?
I do think it's interesting, as we're getting at, as I was kind of getting towards, they do get a shot, they get the shot they wanted to get of Jean Jacket, of OJ being the black man on the horse, the black jockey on the horse, riding the horse with JJ right behind. It's probably an incredible shot. But then magic hour comes. And he gets up to get more shots.
Yeah.
Even though they already got what they need, he gets fucking greedy. Kind of like Jupe is a little bit greedy about things. And he says, it's going to be all right, Angel. We don't deserve the impossible. Which is fascinating, because then he goes and tries to get the impossible. And I don't understand it.
I have feelings about that.
In what way? Yes, tell me.
I had questions like, is Antler suicidal?
Right,
Is the cosmic horror of JJ too much for him? Is he sacrificing himself?
Which is stupid, because his sacrifice fucks them.
Does it?
It is implied. He goes up there to get that perfect shot.
Yeah.
When JJ comes over with its big dust flowing around everything, all the film gets blown out of their canisters and gets exposed.
Right.
They lose all of their film. Except for maybe, because it depends on if they got anything with Angel's digital cameras or not.
I have a thought about that.
Okay.
So
tell me.
I'm going to. So, when he says we don't deserve the impossible.
And he puts Angel at risk. That's the part of the movie where Angel was going to die. He only survived because his fucking actor fought for him, and because
Brandon
Perea, and he was smart enough to the idea to wrap yourself in fucking barbed wire
and a tarp.
Oh, brilliant!
Very smart.
Very smart. Put yourself in pain to save yourself. Like, that's rich. I eat that.
Yeah. To me, when he says we don't deserve the impossible, like referring to the impossible shot, like, to me, it's not because they don't deserve what the impossible shot will get them, like fame and fortune, attention, right?
Right.
It's that the impossible shot will destroy them, and they do not deserve to be destroyed.
But then he actively goes and does it.
Yes, you are so right. Like, because he's the oldest person, right? Like, he's well into his 60s, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, to him, he's been around in his career for decades and decades, right?
And I do think he has a little bit of a superiority complex, kind of, about
Probably.
He's above this commercial that he's helping on.
He's definitely he's jaded.
He's
for
jaded,
sure.
yeah. He kind of thinks that he can do better than, you know, like, oh, I can get a better shot.
Yeah. Or
You
maybe
know?
it's because he's terminally ill.
Right.
I don't know. The way I saw, like, we don't deserve the impossible is, like, you guys want to go after something that will cause your downfall. And, like, trust me,
You don't
I know
want to
I've
do that.
been there.
Right. Yeah. The same
And
way he's
now
saying,
I'm
like,
terminally
you're
ill
not going to wake up from that dream.
and I'm going to go die.
Yeah.
You're right. And, I mean, we see this with the fucking TMZ guy.
Right. Yeah. Which we'll get to.
Yes, we will.
I do want to add one more thing to
Yeah.
the idea of maybe Antler's motivation or something is that Eadweard Muybridge
Yes.
was a freak. Do you know anything about him?
Not a thing.
Honestly, I was already a little before this film. Well, I guess not before this film. In between my first time viewing it and before we got around to doing it for the pod, there was a History on Trial podcast episode that came out about Eadweard Muybridge's, a trial about Eadweard Muybridge, when he murdered his wife's lover.
Oh,
But that's not really why he's a freak.
okay.
I mean, it's part of it.
Part of it.
Another reason why Eadweard Muybridge was a little fucking freak
Tell me.
is that his birth name was like Edward, Edward.
Oh, yeah. I noticed it's spelled very
Like
strangely.
some Muybridge, like a very normal last name, Mulbridge,
Yeah.
you know, something like that. And then he proceeded to change his name like 80 times.
He's still Eadweard Muybridge.
But like with the weirdest fucking spellings, Eadweardmuy. Yeah,
Wow.
it's like,
what an idiot.
yeah. No, he was just a little weirdo, I
Was
think.
he also,
And-
was he
Well,
also
and I
like
think-
crazy racist? And
I mean, probably.
like,
I don't know.
Like the way,
Well, he worked with Stanford, the founder of Stanford. So, you know.
Leland.
Yeah, Leland Stanford.
Gross.
It's possible that he got a conk on the head and it like completely changed his
Oh my
personality.
gosh. That's absolutely what happened. Like every time it's like, oh, well, he got a head injury.
And then suddenly he was a very different person.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
He- that
Anyway,
very-
what happened
but,
after he hit his head?
Well, it was just like before that he was on like a very different career path, and then suddenly he was a nature photographer. And he was very interested in getting what we might call impossible shots, in the sense that he was known for going to very extreme and dangerous lengths to get shots of wild animals that nobody else has gotten for.
So-
like a big deal about like the horse thing was like he was trying to prove whether or not horses' feet ever, all four of them, leave the ground ever when they
if
run.
they were all four.
Yeah, that's for some reason that's relevant, whether animals do that or not.
Okay,
if our
whatever.
feet ever fully leave the ground,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And like they had never been sure about horses. There's been so much debate about how do horses like mechanically move, and you can actually kind of see it through art history, the way that horses are drawn.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of a theory about why like what's that Norse god, the horse Sleipnir? I think that's the name of that horse. But anyway, there's a horse in Norse mythology that has like 100 legs or
100
something.
legs?
And the thought is because when you see a horse run really fast,
Yeah.
you kind of can't tell what the legs are doing. And it
They're-
kind of looks like they have lots of legs, or
Yeah.
maybe no legs or something.
So he wanted
he wanted
photos
to
of-
like prove
Yeah.
like this is actually like he wanted to be the one to prove that.
Yeah.
And he often seemed like sort of the person who wanted to be the one to be like, I got this shot of this, you know,
Yeah.
dangerous beast
Yeah.
up close, closer than anybody else was able to get. And I think that is maybe part of the influence of Antler Hulse's character.
Yeah, because we do see him looking at
At
footage
dangerous
of animals.
Yeah, dangerous, animals and stuff. And that maybe part of it is that kind of freak energy in the way that artists are freak. Muybridge was a freak in other ways, including that he killed his wife's lover. That maybe it's that artistic urge to be like the one who gets it,
Yeah.
the one who makes this piece of art.
Yeah, and I think, and the being the one, right, who gets it, who makes the art, it does get you attention,
Yes.
right? But, like, I think also for an artiste, which
Yeah.
I do think Antlers
Very much is.
that, like, for him, the pursuit of art is also is fulfilling in its own way.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. Because he talks about how, he'll do some works for many and some works that are just for him.
Yeah.
Like, there's something else that he is trying to do for himself. Some sort of, like, artistic actualization.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that's just, like, part of, like, you are never going to be able to get this moment ever again.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to be able to get this moment ever again. It needs to for the sake of art.
Yes.
Like, art as God.
Art, yep.
And like sacrificing yourself for art's sake,
Yeah.
putting yourself in danger, putting yourself at risk for art's sake.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like spiritual for him or something.
Yeah. And maybe he's terminally ill.
Right. That is the other thing that
And
I
he's
come back
like,
to.
I'm on borrowed time anyway.
Yeah.
So to me, like we just said, Antlers is an artist.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's a big part of it.
Imagine what I'm doing with my hands right now.
Artiste. Cinema.
He is an artiste first, and I think especially in his older age has like gone back to embracing that part. But it kind of seems like he probably also has a history of chasing what M is chasing.
That fame.
Being on top of the mountain with all eyes on you.
Yeah.
And then we mentioned he literally walks up a hill.
Yeah.
To get on top of the quote-unquote mountain to get that shot of JJ.
Yeah, where all the eyes around are on him.
Yeah, and he seems very jaded by the system that he's been a part of for years.
Yeah.
That he probably has experienced, you know, like that he's been taken advantage of, that he's been exploited, that he's done things for his career.
Yeah.
To be able to be on top of the mountain that he's maybe not very proud of, right? And like he, I think, used to maybe in his youth came from a place of doing things for attention and praise.
Yeah.
And art. But the attention and praise is nice too. And maybe like he's going for the impossible shot for himself, again, in the pursuit
and
of capital A art.
And for capital L legacy.
Yeah.
Like, what will be his legacy on Earth when he does die?
Yeah.
If he is terminally ill, he's thinking about that. Yeah. We don't really know what makes him change his mind, because he originally rejects M, and then suddenly he called back and was like...
Well, it's... My understanding is that he learns about what
the
happens
Star Lasso experience.
At Jupiter's
and
claim.
He puts it together.
And he's like, oh, this thing's dangerous.
That's I mean, that's my assumption too, but we don't, like, specifically know.
Right. So I want to go back to what you were saying about, like... You know, he goes for the shot and then ends up kind of destroying everything. Like, it's worth noting that his death serves an incredibly important purpose. Like, when his footage is gone or destroyed, M is the one who gets the shot.
I know, yeah.
It's not the cinematographer.
Narratively, it's incredibly significant.
Yeah, and
but I just meant, like, I guess the idea that he was, like, sacrificing himself or something doesn't work because he fucks them. Because
then he fucked it up,
yeah.
But then M is the one who gets the shot. The Haywoods are the ones who have the shot, not the cinematographer.
Yeah. I mean, it's very important that they are the heroes in the end.
I want to talk a little bit about when we see him watching that footage of animals. Something that came up while I was looking into the, sound design and stuff is... this idea of one of the functions that produced horror does for us is it helps us, kind of like deal with
the catharsis
of our trauma. And it also, something else I was thinking about, it also helps represent it for other people who don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, why was that so traumatizing?
Yeah.
Get over it, right? Like, it helps other people understand, right?
Yeah.
And it's also, of course, not real, right?
Right, yeah. Like, if you're afraid of spiders, like, somebody else might be like, whatever, they're little tiny things. But then you watch a movie with, like, a bunch of giant fucking monster spiders, you might be like, oh, okay, I kind of get what you see. They are fucking creepy.
Oh, yeah. I actually...
I mean, like,
often can't watch a spider movie. I've tried a few times. I'm just like, nope.
Yeah. I mean, and it's me with... I don't watch water movies because I'm afraid of water. And, like, whether or not they're horrors. But then the horror movies, it's like, is there a giant fucking sea monster? That's what I imagine every time I'm in the fucking ocean.
I told you.
Yeah.
So, from the horror perspective, to me, Antlers seems interested in real horror. Not... the produced horror that Hollywood creates.
Right.
The real horror that we see, like, when we see those footage of animals in a struggle, like, fighting for their lives.
Why is he what is he working on there?
Yeah.
Why did he get that footage?
Yeah.
Why does he have all that?
Like, these animals are fighting for their lives, like to escape with their life, or, like, to
eat.
Continue living by securing a meal.
Yeah.
And, I was thinking about real horror and how, like... humans don't tend to like that as much.
Right.
Because, like, if you think about, any number of awful things. Like, footage from the liberation of the concentration camps after the Holocaust. Yeah, it's like, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Right? And so that kind of stuff we don't necessarily want to see.
We look away from,
but it does really help us understand and empathize like what is happening to other people. Mm-hmm. And so, like, to me, Antlers, he's just like too punk rock,
He's just like tired of the spectacle, the fakeness of it.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't want to make like a Hollywood horror. I'm interested in like the real horror that exists in nature, not Disney nature.
Yeah.
Like, nature.
Well, and it's like how he M makes the mistake when she's trying to hire him of first saying that they're doing like reality.
Mm-hmm.
And that immediately makes you think of reality TV, which of course is fake, as you can fucking be.
Yeah.
And then OJ's like, no, you mean documentary. And she's like, documentary. It's a documentary. And and then it's like, okay, wait, I'll keep listening then.
Stopped listening again.
Yeah, because it's like the difference between the real
Yeah.
and the fake that's pretending to be real.
Yeah.
Or like some sort of,
For spectacle.
And it's like, yeah, honestly, it's easier to watch Jean Jacket eat a bunch of people, even though it's terrifying and it makes your skin crawl a little bit. Like, it's whatever. But then, like, some people really struggle with, like, nature documentaries and seeing actual animals eat each other, even though we all understand that's, like, those animals need that to live.
So that's just kind of, like, that gives me the vibe is, like, what kind of guy is Antlers?
Yeah.
First of all, his name's Antlers.
Yeah. Antlers Holst.
Antlers Holst.
That can't be his real name.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know. But yeah, it is still a little bit baffling. Like, why does he do that?
Yeah. I mean, why does he sit at that table and recite all of Giant Purple People Eater?
In flat, monotone prose.
He's also just a freak. I also think there's something else another telling moment from his character that I had forgotten about until you brought it up last episode, which is that when Emerald asks, does anybody know the name of that black jockey? There's silence, and then the only person who, like, I don't know, kind of has enough sympathy for the moment to respond is Antlers.
Behind a camera.
Yeah.
Saying,
nope. Like, everybody else just fucking is, like, silent, ignorant crickets.
Yeah.
And I think that's another significant part of his character, that he does have some amount of, like, empathy in him or something.
Yeah, and
while at the same time preferring to see the world through a camera rather than interact with it directly.
Yeah.
Like, he'll see it, but he doesn't necessarily want to be a part of it.
Yeah, he's there to observe and record and
But then he can't help getting himself involved and getting up close.
Right. Yeah, and that's another thing that's really interesting is that, like, of course, I love the shot of his face, like when he's getting sucked up and he's like, ah, you know.
But it's because it's scared, but in kind of the same way of the roller coaster voices and the screams of terror. There's something about his face, and also similar to Jupe's face when he sees, where it's like that look of, like, almost religious awe.
It's a bit of awe,
and terror. There is something in Antlers that also seems sort of, like, excited at the same time that he's scared.
Yeah.
It seems almost like, yes, I'm getting it.
And what's also interesting,
I wonder actually if that footage is retrievable.
See, yeah, that's the thing. Well, so a couple of things. That camera, it's not stated in the movie, but in the script, the camera has a name.
Okay.
He names his non-electronic camera. Its name is Dorothy.
Like Wizard of Oz?
Like Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Like he's a friend of Dorothy?
Like he's a friend of Dorothy, or like Dorothy gets caught up in a twister. JJ,
probably more that.
They're very similar to looks like a tornado. But what's so interesting to me is that he keeps while this terrifying and awe-inspiring thing is happening to him,
he never stops.
He continues to do the physical motion required of him to continue,
which is also a circular motion,
rolling to get the shot,
like a tornado.
Yeah. And so, I was actually wondering about that. Is like, is that film destroyed?
I don't know.
Because if it goes up into JJ, will spit it back out. But again, if it's undeveloped and it gets exposed to light.
Yeah. How sturdy is it in there?
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like, he does put an angel in danger. Yeah. The angel almost dies as a result of what he does. Maybe that film does get exposed to the sun and get destroyed and means nothing.
And, like, that's certainly what Emerald is thinking. Yeah, she takes the time to make sure to get a different shot.
Yeah.
Which also is involved with a crank. That's same
true.
Circular motion and that little well.
Yeah.
Which was just a big hole. The imagery.
With all of the circular coins that have fallen because JJ didn't need that shit.
Yeah. Just like the fucking coins that they thought were going to fall from the sky in the monkey's paw.
Is that what they were thinking? That it would just come from the sky?
Yeah, he even makes a joke about, like, since, what's his name was so afraid about these wishes, it's probably going to fall from the sky and hit me in the head.
Oh.
Literally.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
fun.
But anyway. But yeah, we have been talking a lot about the final confrontation, but we haven't really, like, talked about the final confrontation.
Yeah.
And, like, we talked about before, I think, that, like, OJ has a lot of, like, sympathy, and that's like one of his strengths. He like understands other people. He understands the animals. Like he sees them.
He's the one who actually intuits correctly
Yeah.
what is happening
like-
rather than Jupe.
In the energy of OJ, I do feel a little bit bad for Jean Jacket, because by this point in the movie, you do have to start to think that this is not a good environment for Jean Jacket to be in. Like, it is eating so many things that it can't digest and having to spit those things up. And, like, that's gotta hurt. I mean, all of that blood, like, is any of that blood its own? I don't fucking know. Like,
Does it have
But,
blood?
I mean, it seems at least that the DK horse upset it so much that it's now afraid of those flags.
Yeah.
And plus, I wonder, like, how efficient, like, biologically efficient it is at separating things out, since it had to spit up all that, like, blood and gunk to get it all out.
Yeah, and you,
Like, how
you
much it's
mentioned you saw the
losing.
horse skeleton. Like, it
Yeah.
seems like it can't do bones. So, like,
I just wonder.
and it's not like pooping out owl pellets like
yeah,
owls do. You know?
yeah. It just does not seem like a good environment for Jean Jacket to be in.
Huh.
And I'm just sort of wondering how it got here, I guess.
Right. How did it get there?
Maybe this is just a good time. Maybe this is a good time for us to really talk about, like, what is fucking Jean Jacket?
fuck is
what are
Jean
they really
Jacket?
going up against? We know it's some sort of creature.
It's one animal
It is a singular animal.
that appears to be capable of spite.
Yes, or at least territorial behavior, I guess.
Yeah.
If we want to keep it more, if we don't want to humanize it too much.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, JJ takes, like, many different forms. We really only see one or two forms mainly.
Yeah, because we get that first form that to me looks. I honestly hate the texture of it. Like when it gets close and you can see the texture. I don't know. That texture looks really gross to me. It's it seems like it would be kind of not like the feel of skin with goosebumps.
Okay.
You know, or like cold chicken that's still kind of bumpily. You know, like the little
With the
bumps.
bumps on it. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's what it sort of looks like to me.
The, like, what Jean Jacket feels
Yeah,
like?
yeah. When we
Okay.
get that close-up shot right after the Star Lasso experience, when it gets really close still, and it's like what I also kind of call it sand dollar form, because it also just looks like a sand dollar.
It is giving sand dollar. It's giving, like, because it has that hole in the center.
Yeah.
And the way that, like, with the camera positions, it often looks like a hat.
Or it does, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it's supposed to kind of look like Jupe's cowboy hat.
Yeah, it looks like a
they're-
cowboy
That's
hat.
definitely intentional.
And then also giving, like, a traditional flying saucer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's something about, like, I don't know, like the meat of it feels more like the meat of, like, a mussel or like a, you know, like an oyster mussel
Sure,
sort
yeah.
of type thing.
Yeah.
You know, like that. I don't know. And it makes my skin crawl because
you're not
ocean
into it.
things.
Yeah.
And it does seem that they did take a lot of like oceanic inspiration for Jean Jacket.
Yeah.
So that came through for me at least. But also maybe it came through for me because I'm so ready to be afraid of the ocean at any moment.
Right, anything from the ocean.
Yeah.
So in what way?
Okay, so like I already said with like the sand dollar
sand dollar, yeah, sure.
kind of muscle sort of look to it.
Yeah.
Its other form where it sort of blooms out is supposedly very like certain types of jellyfish.
Yeah, it's giving
And the way that it
jellyfish a little.
moves, it's not swimming through the air, it's not flying through the air. It's sort of floating and tendrily in the way that a jellyfish moves. Like I think that's one of its main inspirations.
Right.
Actually,
Yeah. Like why we don't call them unidentified flying objects anymore, because they're not always necessarily flying.
Yeah.
Like JJ's might not always necessarily be flying.
Right, yeah. And I think we talked last time a little bit about like maybe part of why it like the thought behind maybe why it shuts off electricity is because maybe it uses some sort of like electromagnetic field to propel itself or to hover. That it maybe has some sort of electricity going on. So yeah, it's like not flying.
It's interacting with electric
Yeah.
fields in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when it turns into its more like jellyfish form, it seems to be floating kind of like, not quite like a hot air balloon because that would require heat. But like, I don't know, like a bag in the wind to get Katy Perry over here. Like, it just seems to be like kind of floating almost.
Yeah, I had like a couple of feelings or like things that came up for me as we like see JJ come out in its different forms. The shot that M gets of it, like that shot, it
Yes.
looks like an orchid to me.
Yeah.
It's like a flower. And of course, what do orchids look like but vaginas?
Oh, okay. I was like aliens. Because to me, all flowers look very alien. I think flowers are fucking weird. Like the anatomy of flowers.
Some flowers do look very alien.
They're just so, because they're just so not
Certainly
human.
some kinds of orchids. Orchids are
fucking
Well,
weird.
I'm just thinking about George O'Keeffe.
But yeah, no, you're right. I get where you're going with that too.
And then, yes, I see the jellyfishness of it.
Yeah. There's also the thing about the square eye.
Yeah.
It has that weird square eye.
Yeah.
The fucking, my most hated thing in the world, octopuses,
Yes.
octopi, have square eyes.
They have square eyes?
pupils. They have square pupils.
pupils. Oh, okay.
Did you not know this?
No, I'm sorry.
You're not an expert in octopi? Like, what?
No.
I literally can't look at them, so I've never been able to confirm that they have square pupils, but this is what I've been told.
Did you just read it somewhere?
Yes.
I believe you. Yeah.
I can't look at I get more
you're
than
right.
a glance.
I think you're right. Yeah.
They're supposedly have kind of like square
okay,
eyes.
but like, is that an eye or is it a mouth?
I think that's an eye.
The square thing?
I do.
And then when it's in its sand dollar form, like that's the
mouth.
That's a mouth.
I think that's a
Yeah, 'cause-
mouth that leads to the. I think the eye is seeing through the mouth.
Whoa.
Because when we kind of zoom up on it, and then
Yeah.
it turns into like a the screen.
Yes. Yeah.
We're zooming in through it, and there's something square there in the depths of Jean Jacket. So I think it is. It's all folded in on itself. I thought.
Yeah.
It's all folded in on itself
Yeah.
so that the eye can see through the mouth hole.
Whoa.
Like-
I mean, yeah, it's like an alien species. Why wouldn't its anatomy be alien?
Fucking weird. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
then
like
it
that.
like
I
folds
buy it.
itself inside out.
Yeah.
And its mouth becomes sort of like this outside jellyfish shape while its eye hangs out in the front.
As a perfect square.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also mentioned, I think we mentioned it last time, that there's probably some influence from that anime that we totally remember the name of.
Neon, Genesis,
Evangelion.
and Evangelion.
Or
Evangelion.
Evangelion.
Evangelion. Evangelical Lions.
Sorry, I watch very little anime.
And you know, that's probably not how it's originally pronounced in the Japanese.
Yeah, right. Who knows
Assuming
what's
it's a Japanese anime, which it may not be.
It is a Japanese
Okay,
anime,
good.
yes. And this is where I think Jordan Peele gives himself away as an anime nerd,
I know, yeah.
right?
Because this is also where we get, finally, the beautiful Akira slide.
Yeah, of M on the motorcycle.
Yes.
Because she knows how to ride motorcycles, which she mentions at the beginning.
Right at the beginning.
And
Everything
it's
comes
relevant.
back. It's all looping together.
Yep.
If only Crafty had been relevant. Anyway.
Anyway, some other things that like JJ's forms remind me of when it's really kind of starting to unfurl and
Yeah.
make itself much larger. It's to me giving, because it's like it's white color,
Yeah.
is giving like ship sails.
Oh, yes.
And then that made me think of, honestly, colonization.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a
Right?
very white, pale monster.
Like the ship sails of these colonizing powers are
coming
like, or taking you from the Gold Coast to the Bahamas.
Yeah, bringing in invasive species.
Yeah, right?
Like, that's really interesting.
Yeah, and then sort of a take on a biblical type angel, which again is from that anime.
Yeah.
right?
We talked about that in my literary corner last up, the
Yep.
biblical stuff.
And then, what else does it look like to me?
I do think there's
What
something
else?
about just the eye. Because it's not just that it's
green
square.
stuff.
There's this green unfurling that somehow furls back, but you don't really see it furl back, but somehow it furls forward
And
again.
it's not like...
It cycles.
You don't see it layering.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing over and over.
I don't know.
It's weird. What is that?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe that's just one of those things, just like, I mean, the square itself, even though I
Is it
think
sort
it
of
is
like a-
octopus related,
Yeah.
squares feel very unnatural in nature.
Sure.
You know, we don't have a lot of like perfect squares
Yeah,
like that.
right angles are hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like circles are not as hard, certainly ovals.
Right, yeah.
But like a perfect square is like kind of freaky.
Or like the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah. It's like, but you can find circles on your body. Your eyes, your pupils
Yeah.
are circles. Like find a square.
But a square?
like, I don't know, your teeth kinda, but not really.
Not really. Yeah,
Yeah.
like 4 sets
So I
of
feel like
90
some of
degree
it-
angles, that's asking a lot.
And then the weird
Yeah.
furling,
Like that, the
undoing.
green
I feel like
part of
maybe
it.
that part of it is just to be as like alien and unnatural as possible.
Yeah, it's just like, it's alien.
But it's also giving,
Its
I don't
anatomy
know,
is
it kind of
alien.
feels like, I first thought of like bird feathers when birds kind of display out their feathers.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, is it
either as like thread or like mating?
Not, yeah, it was like not a mating display, but like the way animals are like,
display.
hey, get the fuck out of my territory.
Well, and all those animals
or
who
we're gonna fight
get bigger when they
yeah.
feel threatened.
Yeah.
They get,
they poof up. Yeah,
they poof up.
Yeah,
They get bigger. Cats
like
even.
Yeah, my cat's tails. Get
Yeah,
so
yeah, and they feel threatened because they're getting bigger and scarier.
Yeah.
And like they talk about how there are certain animals where like it's like one color of bear, it's a good idea to get really big, but another type of bear, if you do that, you're going to get eaten.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would die in nature. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, there's something about it like. It's such an interesting mix of being very natural and being very unnatural that I think is maybe just like purposely trying to hit on that like uncanny valley kind of thing of like this is like a beast, but an alien beast.
It's something unknowable to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can try to know it. There are pieces of it where we feel like we know it. Like we get that it doesn't want to look in eyes and stuff, but we can never know. Just like we can never know. We know what sets Gordy off. We know what sets Lucky off. We don't know what sets Jean Jacket off in that part.
Yeah.
Makes it unpredictable.
Also, I was thinking about, we mentioned this last time, about like the random like sort of light popping sounds.
I know. I still don't know what that is.
And like we kind of decided we don't think it's people.
No.
But I was just thinking how that adds to the sonic ambiguity.
It really
right?
does.
Like, what the fuck
we
is that
literally were
popping
like,
sound?
what is that sound?
Yeah.
And it's great because it sounds like balloons. So we're thinking of balloons popping, which is like relevant to the tale.
And then again, we're faced with terror. Like, what is it? And then our brain can decide it is whatever we think is the most terrifying thing.
Little bits of like air releasing to like help it get higher or something.
Oh yeah,
like maybe it's released because there are like sometimes of fish that have like air bladders of some sort.
Oh, okay.
To help them move up and down in water.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I vaguely know this.
Right, and it's like because it's in the air, so like it makes sense that it would be interacting with
air,
the oxygen around it.
Yeah. So maybe it's like the popping sound is it releasing air to make it like heavier, or like sucking in air to get lighter or something, or the other way around. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I learned that like when our knuckles pop.
Oh yeah.
It's
air releasing. It's like hot air that's releasing. You're so right.
My coworker just helped me realize that like sometimes my right knee hurts when it's raining.
Yeah, that's the thing. No, I totally my little chronic pain, whatever it is that fucks with my joints.
Yeah.
I do feel like when it's like starting to get rainy, it gets worse.
And it's because
it's like a common flare-up
our joints have air pockets in them.
Yeah.
And that air is interacting with like the atmospheric pressure.
That's what I mean. Yeah, and that goes back to one of my theories about why Jean Jacket shows up earlier, where I said maybe there's like some reference to a storm maybe coming in because we do get like rain or something, some rain clouds or something that like maybe because it is a creature full of air. Maybe it is very, or at least living in air. Yeah, it is very affected by any atmospheric change, and maybe it comes from a planet where you don't have those kind of atmospheric changes.
Yeah, right.
Or they're more predictable to it in some way, or like different in some way. Yeah, I mean, going back to what I said about how I just think this is a bad environment for I wonder how like scared Jean Jacket is. It has its nest and is trying to get this little territory. It's not really going very far.
Going well at
we
all.
know, and it's like we know it got those hikers. That sounds like as far as it went, and that's in the same valley. It's just staying in the same little valley.
Yeah.
I wonder just like how scared it is. I mean, we don't see it fully puff up. I kind of love that it's Angel that finally makes it do that. I don't know why, because Angel's such a comedic character. It's after he does his little wrap himself up in barbed wire thing and spits it out. It's right after that it puffs up.
Oh.
Or unfurls, unfolds itself.
And
goes inside out, kind of.
form, yeah.
Yeah, that's the final thing. I don't know why. I love that that's Angel that makes that happen. Because he's like such not a hero character, even in this film. Yeah. And I'm like, no, he played his fucking part.
He helped.
Respect, Angel.
He helped.
He was just trying to keep himself alive. He fucking cut himself up to keep himself alive, wrapping himself in barbed wire. Fucking dope. Fucking love that moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jean Jacket's crazy. I also really liked, let me just go back to Tumblr for a second.
Yep.
At Frigidzu, had this theory that from behind that giant jupe air balloon, kind of looks like another Jean Jacket.
Oh, okay.
The idea that maybe Jean Jacket saw that other jupe balloon and thought of it as like a creature similar to itself. But it always has its eye turned away. So it's like it's a creature of like its own self that's being like, I'm chill. Don't worry about it. Like when you...
I'm not a threat to you.
Yeah, like when you slow blink at a cat or something. Like maybe it felt like it was like slow blinking at it or something.
Yeah.
It was just an interesting thought because then when M also fucking smart, releases the juke balloon
So smart.
to become like an antagonist to JJ.
Yeah.
Maybe that gives JJ an extra reason, because JJ immediately is like, oh, that is a threat. And it's like, yeah, it's a big giant eye, but maybe it's also like, you were like the creature, like you are the same as me, you are one of me, and now you are being a threat to me. And that's like, I don't know, it was an interesting thought.
Yeah, how does JJ like actually perceive its surroundings, because we don't ever get to know.
Like, why does it try to eat that giant balloon that's like basically the size of it?
Yeah.
When every time else it was eating much smaller things.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it because that wasn't like it trying to eat it so much as like take down one of its own kind?
Yeah, or what it perceives as a threat, because it is a big balloon with a big eye.
Yeah, and it's like kind of doing the same thing that Jean Jacket is. It's floating up there.
Yeah.
It's kind of palish colored
Yeah.
and blobby and just bobbing.
Yeah.
I don't know, with a big eye. It's interesting to think that maybe to Jean Jacket that looks like a mirror. Literally like a mirror, like Lucky looking in the mirror. Okay.
Oh my God.
Wow. I did not. I was not prepared for that revelation. That was a deep thought. That was a deep thought. That was the deepest thought we've ever had on this show. Everybody witness.
It's like a mirror. Oh my God. But then Jean Jacket consumes the balloon, and then
it pops.
Somehow through the consumption of the balloon, it pops, and in popping it, destroys Jean Jacket.
I think it's just the force of all the air being expelled out all at once.
The air ends up working against Jean Jacket.
Yeah, because it all just, if you had it.
And then I think we kind of do what I understand to be like,
you see
kind of parts
of
it sort of starting to flutter down.
I didn't write down his name. I should have. The guy, there was like an actual like biologist, scientist guy, worked at some college somewhere. Look him up. He was cool. Who helped with the creature design of Jean Jacket and lending it actual like animal characteristics. Like helped develop that. And one thing he said, he was like, well, first off, he said that there were other elements to Jean Jacket that they did not end up using in the movie that like, if they ever did a sequel, could come back.
Maybe.
Well, and the other thing he said,
yup.
Maybe.
Anyway.
He talked about how one of their inspirations was something called an immortal jellyfish.
Oh.
That is like, I guess kind of like sea sponge.
Jellyfish are nuts, man.
Jellyfish are fucking nuts. I hate them. They can be chopped up into little tiny pieces and like self-regenerate. And so this idea that maybe Jean Jacket could self-regenerate.
Oh, shit.
Like maybe it's not all the way dead.
Oh my gosh. Maybe there will be like 100 Jean Jackets now. Because, because of the pieces.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, that, and we don't know how it reproduces. Maybe it came here because it was pregnant or something and was laying eggs in that stationary cloud. Maybe that stationary cloud is its eggs.
Maybe that's a nest. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I have lots of questions about Jean Jacket,
but we don't get answers.
But we kind of do. We get speculation.
Yeah. And then, I think we mentioned this last time, like Jordan Peele, like believes in his audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I don't need to spell it out for you.
Yeah. He
like,
doesn't explain. Yeah. Explicitly. He's like,
you get the vibe.
I'm giving you this entire mid piece about a ape going wild on the set of a sitcom. What isn't there to understand?
What is so confusing?
It's based on a dream I had. We actually haven't fully talked about the TMZ guy.
The fucking TMZ
which is how the motorcycle comes into play, and we get to have that Akira slide.
You're right. I love that he's the TMZ guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a name or a face.
He does have a name.
Oh, he does have a name?
Not in the film, but in the cast list.
Oh, okay.
His name is Ryder Muybridge.
Wow.
A clear reference to people riding on horses.
And Eadweard Muybridge. However you want to spell it.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him the TMZ guy.
Yeah, no, he's the TMZ guy. We do not need to call him Ryder.
Yeah.
Mr. Muybridge.
Mr. Muybridge, yeah. And he doesn't get to have a face.
Yeah.
He has a helmet, and his helmet is
a fucking mirror. Spectacle and spectacle.
He's got the one eye hole.
Yeah.
For
his fucking camera.
Video.
I love that, like, one of his first lines is, "What's the matter? Don't you want to be on TV?" Yeah. This assumption that we all want to be, like, constantly surveyed.
Where's your phone?
Constantly
Why aren't you filming this?
I mean, that.
Because OJ does try to help the TMZ guy. And is the TMZ guy, it's kind of the same thing. Like, where's your phone? Why aren't you filming this?
His first thing is, did you get that on camera?
Yes.
He's like, I just wiped out.
Yeah.
It was fucking
I almost
awesome.
died.
You gotta get that. I'm fucking injured as hell.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get that. It's the idea, turning trauma immediately into spectacle. The only point of it is to put it on camera. Like, what's the point of pain if you're not?
If you can't capitalize on it.
And it's like, don't pick me up off the pavement until I have had a picture of me taken in the state.
Yes, right.
Of, like, injury.
And OJ is, like, trying to be like, dude, no, you don't understand what kind of girl you're in danger, girl.
And it's like, even though he doesn't understand the amount of danger he's in, he looks like he has, like, probably a broken leg or something. He looks like he's in fucking bad. I mean, maybe he's a little bit in shock or something, but, like, he needs medical attention probably pretty quickly. But, like, his hunger for spectacle just, like, fucks with his priorities or, like, his survival instinct or something. I also like that in this moment, he, the TMZ guy, because OJ is wearing his Scorpion King set crew hoodie.
Yeah.
And so the TMZ guy is like, be Scorpion King. Make a name for yourself. Which is right before OJ leaves him when he realized, like, that's like... I kind of like that it's this reference to this movie that is the movie that, like, his dad kind of, like, fucked over his little sister to be a part of.
Yeah.
And that's also the moment where AJ's like, okay, that's what this guy's priorities are.
The actual horse jean jacket.
The same thing that kind of, like, Otis Sr.'s priorities were with Scorpion King. Yeah. We got to get into the movie. We got to be a part of the spectacle. We got to be making the money. You know, like that priorities are not looking at the situation around you and taking care of the people that are around you.
Yeah.
Like OJ is trying to do the same thing he kind of did for M back then. He's looking at her. He's looking at this TMZ guy, and the TMZ guy is like, nah, man, it's all about Scorpion King.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about humanity, basically. I only care about spectacle.
Even when it means his own death.
Yeah. I think this is kind of what leads me to, like, kind of the last thing I want to talk about in this movie is that, like, so much of what, like, I don't know, I kind of want to say saves the day is OJ and M's seeing each other. And I just think that final moment where they're trying to figure it out and OJ and Emerald start almost like competing against each other for Jean's jacket's attention because they're each trying to be the one to sacrifice themselves for their sibling.
For the other. Yeah.
It's like straight to my heart.
Yeah.
And that's like they do the little eye thing where they point at each other. It's like all they need to be able to see is each other. They'll do anything for each other. And it's this thing of like, fuck the spectacle. Fuck Scorpion King.
Yeah.
Fuck all of the money, all of the fame. We are going to take care of each other.
Yeah. It's you and me.
That's beautiful.
And now Angel too, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think they're getting rid of Angel.
I think he lives there now.
I think he lives there now. He's going to learn how to be a cowboy. That's my headcanon. Okay. I mean, if Angel could learn those skills, he could be like...
Yeah, I was going to say, he would be a really good... He's kind of a good bridge between OJ and M. He is a good balancing force for them.
He is. I love that.
Oh my God. Yeah, he would be great being that. Though it would be a little confusing when he talks about the black jockey being... It's not his great. But she could do the big spiel.
Yes.
Angel could be like, okay, here are the actual safety requirements that OJ needs me to tell you about. Yes. And then OJ can handle the horse.
Yes.
I think they would be a great team.
Yes.
But then all of this, of course, leads us to our last shot of Emerald actually getting the Oprah shot with that, as we already kind of talked about.
Yeah.
But that as those pictures are printing out, we see the pictures printing out.
We get to see them, yeah.
And they're fucking dope.
She did
great. Yeah. And we see all these reporters wanting to get her attention, wanting to talk to her. And of course, it's another moment that's like all about her brother, where she just like looks up.
Where like, she looks up and then it's dusty as fuck.
It's dusty as fuck.
And the dust is clearing and you see the bright orange
and it's like such a fucking like
unlucky
final Western moment of like, here comes the hero.
Here's the hero.
Because it seems like maybe he died. We don't know. He won the little competition with his sister to get...
And he has, just over the course of the movie, a lot of close calls with JJ.
I know. Which is kind of why I believe that, he would be capable of getting Jean Jacket's attention and then getting himself to safety. Him and Lucky.
Yeah.
Some people think he's actually dead at the end of the movie. And that's like a spectral vision or like a ghost vision, which kind of goes to your like ancestors or legacy stuff. Yeah. Which actually kind of like... is the first time where I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of see that. But I don't.
But also, no.
I don't see what. I mean, nothing else in this movie is like that.
That's not.
It's the vibe. It just doesn't mesh with the vibe. And this doesn't seem like this is a horror movie, but it's also an action Western movie.
Yeah.
And those have happy endings.
Tend to have happy endings. Yeah. Yeah, and also like
Angel got to live.
Angel got to live, and if OJ's dead, then like why do we not also see like Otis Sr. there too?
Right,
Like why are they like not both there on their horses looking
Why isn't
heroic?
it like a full Star Wars moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really like that theory.
Interesting, but
No,
yeah,
I just think it's a beautiful sibling moment of like of them being like, yeah, fuck the spectacle.
Yeah.
They got the Oprah shot. Emerald doesn't even care.
And
She
I-
did all of that, but just, like she's realized now like what matters is her relationship to her family.
Yeah. But I do also hope that like she did grab those pictures.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Girl deserves, though once again, I worry about her getting interviewed by Oprah. Oprah is going to push and push about like, so then your dad died.
Yeah.
Did you see your dad when he died?
Yeah.
What was that like when your dad died?
Yeah, like M wants the fame, she wants the attention.
But I wonder how much it would.
would she be able to handle it? Would being
she
on
be-
top of the mountain destroy her?
Yeah, will she have an Antlers Hulse moment or a TMZ guy moment?
Is she grounded enough
Now,
by OJ?
because OJ has never from the beginning
He don't give a fuck.
wanted that.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the spectacle. He doesn't look at things.
Yeah.
He actively avoids looking at
He
things.
just wants to
and
hang out
people.
with his horses.
Yeah. And M and Angel can hang out too. But,
Yes.
you know, quietly, hopefully.
Something to just sort of wrap up our thoughts. This is, I guess, sort of like my conclusion, right?
Conclusion.
And my like kind of last deep thought is like this movie is about the movie industry,
Yeah.
and our obsession with spectacle. And it's not lost on me that everything about this movie production
Is a spectacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like.
Absolutely.
It's literally a summer blockbuster.
Yeah, that was the whole goal
Right?
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or not the goal, but the inspiration for it, I guess.
We've got this big screen movie-going experience.
It's
of the
supposed to
summer
be
blockbuster.
Jaws. Yeah.
Yeah. It takes full advantage of Dolby Atmos surround sound system.
Yeah.
So the sound, you know.
Oh, there was something also about like what kind of camera was used.
Yes.
Was like a special relevant thing.
Yeah.
I don't
so
understand
they're
cameras.
filming it for IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a traditional, I found this, a traditional cinema aspect ratios, like used in like 35 millimeter film,
Yeah.
are usually like wider,
Yeah.
but narrower.
Right.
Right. And then that's as often around a 2.39 to 1 or a 2.35 to 1.
Oh yeah, that's what I always say.
That ratio, duh. But IMAX's ratio is taller, so it just kind of makes for a more immersive viewing experience, and like we can kind of utilize more of the screen's height.
Oh, okay.
And so like again, the sound and what we're
Yeah.
seeing like is an example of a spectacle.
Yeah.
And I just
I
like,
think- yeah.
I like this, like kind of the self-awareness.
Yeah.
You know, like
I do
Jordan
think it's
Peele's like,
been very. Yeah. I think
have
it
a-
is very self-aware.
he's like, I have a lot of thoughts and feelings
about the industry that I am in
and have, yeah, that he
and
has
have
made
been in.
choices of his own free will to
Yeah.
continue participating in.
Yeah.
And he even mentions in interviews, he's like, I mean, you know, you don't have to work in Hollywood for very long before, you know, you have experiences where you do feel exploited,
Yeah.
or erased or taken advantage of.
Right,
you know?
yeah. And I think that is something that, based on the interviews I've heard with other people who work with him,
Yeah.
he's like very conscious about, and like he has a set that tends to be very collaborative and open and like tries to avoid those things. I imagine it's hard in every situation to avoid those things.
Yeah.
Like, are horses getting exploited when they're used in this film? I don't know. Like, what are the horses getting? I'm getting lots of oats, I'm sure. So many oats. But like,
Head pats.
head pats, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but then you know,
But yeah,
of
that
course,
balance of, like,
now
yeah.
movies have hasn't
Yeah.
always been the case, but movies have the like the
That
animals
no
in
one
this
were harmed
film.
or
Blah, blah,
not.
blah,
Yeah,
blah,
I mean, I don't
yeah.
think they were harmed, but just like using animals.
Right. Well,
Dogs always look very excited to be on sets.
Oh, they're yeah. 'Cause
I don't know about horses.
They're happy to please.
I don't
right.
know horses well enough to know.
Right. Well, I mean, now
Because like they had to work with actual horse traders, like OJ.
yeah.
And like, who was that person?
Well, now I feel like we're
That's
getting,
a name we don't know, but it's
Yeah.
probably credited somewhere.
now I feel like we're getting back into the like how do we regard things that we don't think meet the definition of human.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It's like what are animals for? Like and like in that sort of like Western cowboy rural
yeah.
thing, like animals are for labor.
Yeah.
They're to help you with your work.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing.
And
it's a different kind of work,
other
but it's work.
ideas about animals are like that's kind of a newer idea
Yeah.
about how to treat animals. So
And it's all very interesting to think about. It's
Yeah.
I mean, it's a movie that's meant to make you think about things, and I think the its own complicity is a part of what you're supposed to think about.
yeah.
In the way that like Emerald wanting to be a part of this world, Antlers being a part of this world,
Yeah.
Jupe having been a part of this world, being a very like tragic figure. Like he's very like straight down tragic figure. His own fatal flaw is what kills him.
Yeah.
And also he's an antagonist.
Yeah, and he's also kind of the bad guy.
Yeah, like that complicity of it is very interesting, and I think that is a good final thought to take away. My final thought to take away is still just those Haywoods. They just love each other. Ain't that sweet?
Oh, they're sisters.
I just love this movie.
You ready to play archetypes?
Yeah. My first thought is Jupe is the fame whore. He dies first.
800,000%. Yeah. Yes.
I don't think we need to say more about that.
Yeah.
I think I have a bit of a toss-up between the Haywoods for Virgin because they're both final girls.
M and OJ are both final girls. Okay.
I mean, technically Angel is too, but he doesn't really get final girl vibe. Just because he survives. He's more like how Dewey survives. Dewey is not a final girl.
Yeah,
but M and OJ are both final
of the final showdown.
Yeah, in the same way.
With the psycho killer /
And like M and OJ are both part of that final confrontation. I think OJ maybe has a little bit more of a personal connection with Gene Jackson and is giving more Virgin vibes.
Yeah.
Is that where you lean?
Yes. To me, OJ is the final girl.
Yeah.
AKA the Virgin. And I think that for a few reasons.
Yeah.
His behavior is different from everybody else's.
Yes, he stands out. Like I said, he has that stronger connection to the psycho killer and this, the monster.
I mean, also, like, we've been making jokes about him being a horse girl. Like, that's also very final girl to me.
So in my experience, horse girls are kind of whores.
You said it, not me. Anyway.
I think in the virginal sense, like not a literal virgin, but being sort of like not caring as much about looks, spectacle, material world.
Attention.
Like the virginal character is not supposed to care about that stuff. And OJ literally does not care about that stuff.
Also, as far as like the more like sort of on the nose understanding of virgin and virginity, we know M's getting laid.
Yeah.
But we don't know if OJ's getting laid.
No.
So to me, OJ is the final
Maybe him
girl,
and Angel can settle down together.
AKA the Virgin. Maybe. And to me, I mentioned this last time, that M is the fool to me. And I really... The magpie-ness is a little bit foolish to me. And I think, like, what's a good example of, like, the fool sometimes accidentally says or exposes something. Is there a good example of M doing that?
Well,
she does point out the Gordy's home thing that like gets them.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of. I mean, I was going to say the music that she chooses to play, but she's doing that consciously. That's not really accidental. It's interesting. I have a different thought, but I'm curious.
She is the one putting on that music. Yeah.
I think I want to hear how the rest of your lineup works then. Before I say mine, because I feel differently.
Okay, so also
she is definitely a comedic.
She's comedic for sure, and again the vaping.
The vaping is big. The substance use.
Yeah, I know. And
it's important.
It's probably just nicotine, but still, like she's.
Yeah.
And I mean, her and OJ, like. They have that night where they open up the liquor cabinet.
They're all, but There's not really. Hers is a little constant.
There's not a ton of substances being used in this. Yeah, so that's why M is the fool to me. You want me to finish mine?
Yeah. Just because I'm curious how the rest of this goes out for you.
It's tough. So to me, Angel is the scholar because he shows up with the information and the technology that they need to do the thing. He's the one who's watched too much Ancient Aliens. Yeah. Right?
No, I definitely get that.
So that just kind of leaves the athlete, right?
Yeah.
And so, the athlete was tough because it's like, Angel's not really the athlete. To me, you could make a case that OJ is the athlete because of...
He's a horse boy.
Because he's a horse boy. But again, like the way that final girls often incorporate all the other aspects, like he is kind of a scholar. Like he figures some shit out.
Right, yeah. He is an expert on beast behavior in a certain way.
And he uses that horse to act athletically, right? And also his sort of like neurodivergence could maybe put him in that fool archetype, maybe.
Yeah.
And then
fools are also like virgins characters who tend to stand out from the pack.
Right. Yeah. And then that leaves Antlers to be the athlete.
Yeah.
Which. Okay, especially considering the way he goes
out.
He goes out.
That is a very actually athlete way to go out,
right? Like
because athletes tend to really get fucked up. Like the only other way I could think of, the only other like athlete death is maybe if Angel actually died after having wrapped himself in barbed wire. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty athlete way to go.
That would be an athletic death of him for sure.
Yeah, but no, that's a good point.
Yeah, so like he's the athlete. He's the one that's decides to take further action. He goes up the mountain.
Yeah.
Right. He dies in an active way, not a passive way.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, because Antlers and Jupe are the only 2 of those 5 that actually do end up getting killed.
Yeah.
And eaten by JJ, excuse me.
It's hard. JJ Siwa. OJ Siwa.
OJ Siwa. Stop it. Okay. And again, like, he's literally
the continuous motion
to move.
Yeah,
his
he doesn't
arm to
stop.
take footage.
That
as
endurance of the athlete.
Actively
I think
dying.
that's good.
Yeah,
I think
that's me.
I have different thoughts. I think
can't wait
both
to
of our
hear 'em.
thoughts are valid.
Okay,
I don't
wait.
think we need to agree. I guess
That's
is what I
okay.
mean, because
Yeah.
I think I agree with that, and also I
And-
guess I'm saying I'm not saying no, but I'm saying and also.
And also both and.
Yeah,
Not either
both
or,
and.
both and.
Yeah, because I went to the same place of OJ does have athlete vibes, and I was like, as I was saying, I was kind of between OJ and M for the virgin. I was also between them for the athlete because I also think M is very athletic. She does the Akira slide. I also think she has that athlete thing of jumping forward first without information.
Yeah.
Which is the very athlete thing. She's like, we are going to get that Oprah shot. We are going to do. She's like
Let's
a
go to
very
Fry's.
driving force.
Yeah.
And the way
she's
that
like
athletes
talking
kind of
as they're
are.
at Fry's, like, oh, this is gonna happen.
Yeah,
this is
like
gonna happen.
it's yeah. I definitely get her as the fool though.
Sure.
I think for me, Angel works a little bit better as the fool. I mean, because he is another character who's played for laughs. He has a lot of similarities to M that make them both like fool characters. I did actually have a moment of thinking of Antlers as the fool because of it. In the sense of like the consumption of substances leading to prophetic vision. Art is his substance. I like had this deep thought about that. But no, I ended up on Angel because we literally do actually see Angel getting high too. We also do see him having substances when they go to his place. They're smoking.
They are?
Yeah, they're getting high while they're playing that video game.
They are?
Yeah.
I do remember seeing a bong in the corner,
Yeah,
but
I
I was
think-
like, I don't know that they're using
Oh,
it.
okay, maybe they aren't using
But
it. But either way, he's a
either
smoker.
way-
It's giving, it's clear
Stoner,
that
yeah.
he's a stoner.
Yeah.
And also, the prophetic things, the things where he's accidentally, I think I wear my sunglasses at night. It's a really funny, full moment of like, wear your sunglasses at night.
Yeah.
You're about to get eaten here
You
right
would
now
be
at
listening-
night. Yeah.
And you would be listening to this dumbass song.
Right, yeah. And also the VR game that he's playing.
Yes.
It's talking about like, there's a terrible beast eating villagers' livestock. You must be a hero and save the day and destroy the terrible beast. And I'm just like, it's giving Jean Jacket.
Yeah, that's what Angel wants to do. He wants to like...
Yeah. And like, his way of just sort of seeing the plot almost before it happens. In the way that fools do. He can't really do anything about it, but he's seeing it like a step ahead of everybody. Yeah. Where he's like, oh, you're talking about aliens before they've said anything about aliens.
Yeah.
And then that, for me, I do think Antlers also works as a scholar because he's
Absolutely.
bringing the knowledge about film.
Yes, yeah.
So I think both of these readings work.
Awesome.
So this has been Deep Thoughts, Shallow Plots, our second part of Nope.
Join us next month as we wrap up Hot Alien Summer with
Yes.
a clear departure.
Clear departure.
From the vibe of these last 2 films. Next month we'll be
it's gonna be a
covering
journey.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Clowns with a K. So thank you as always to Sound Guy Matt.
Check us out on YouTube and on Instagram at Deep Thoughts, Shallow Plots, all spelled out. And until next time.
5 stars, Angel. 5 stars.